What's good, family? As you can see, we're at a special time right now. There was a something I had to handle because of a somewhat intense conversation um, earlier today on my page. Uh, I had to. I felt like I wanted to get on here because I said I was going to make a video. I said I was going to make a video to address what I was saying, the point that I was making in the comment in the chat that I was having on my page. And for those that missed it, I mean it's 200 comments long. If you want to go read through everything, you can. Um, but I needed to make. I said I was going to make a video. I tried to post a video, but for whatever reason, it wouldn't post to the thread. So let me catch everybody else up for those who missed it. I posted an article. So, and again, we're doing it at a special time right now so that I can address this before we get into the rest of the show. That's why you don't see my co-hosts on with me. You know, Danny and Juwan and my sis Rotsy. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't see them on there. They will be on here tonight along with Laurie Foster. Let me make sure I preface that along with Laurie Foster and Sarah White to talk about their elsewhere. Um, Elsewhere number 3, their third anthology that they're doing, that we just missed out on. Me and Danny were so busy, man. I wish we could have submitted. But that's the only reason we're on early is so that I could address this before we do the show, because it was just too much going on. So for those who don't know who Sha'Carri Richardson is, and make sure you hit the link, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe to Fourth Wall Comments right now. So you never miss an episode. You always get reminders, and you always had a playlist that you can go back and watch old episodes. So for those of y'all that don't remember what happened with Sha'Carri Richardson, so this has only come up in light of a recent issue with the young lady in Russia that was competing, but also got caught with PEDs. Sha'Carri Richardson had something to say about it. She felt like it was unfair, and she wanted an explanation from the IOC and the people that or whoever was in charge of keeping her out of the Olympics. She wanted an explanation from them. As far as to why this young lady was allowed to be in the Olympics and she was not. So to recap Sha'Carri's situation, she qualified for the Olympics with the fastest time for the women's 100-meter race. But she later tested and she was found to be positive for marijuana. The penalty for that usually is 3 months. It could be anywhere from 3 months to a year usually, but there were extenuating circumstances in her case. Sorry. So they had her penalty be 1 month. So the discussion that we were having earlier, during this discussion, I came on because I was big up for Sha'Carri and feeling like she had gotten done wrong when everything happened. I still feel like that, but I'm gonna get into that in a minute. I conceded during the conversation, though, that the situation with this Russian young lady and Sha'Carri are not the same. They're not the same issue. And some of my good friends, that I have conversation with on Facebook, pointed out some things that when I went to read it and research it, they were correct in pointing out these things were what made it different. I think there's still areas where people are going to find issues, or people are still going to find issues there. But I do definitely understand that the nuance of both situations are definitely different. But the reason why I said Sha'Carri, the reason why I said I feel like Sha'Carri got screwed is because of I felt like the American team screwed Sha'Carri. That would just be that's what I felt like. Sorry, I'm messing with the lighting on here. I felt like the American team, the coach, whoever was in charge of allowing Sha'Carri to run or not allowing Sha'Carri to run, is who actually screwed her, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because, number one, so let me say why they did. So the reason that what happened is Sha'Carri had to serve her 30-day suspension. Which would not allow her to run, and on top of that, it took out her qualifying times for the Olympics that she had ran during the trials. So the time that she had that would have gotten her in and automatically put her on the 4x1 team, because the 4x1 relay was going to happen after her suspension, was wiped out. So she couldn't be automatically put in anymore because that qualifying time that she had before the Tokyo Games got erased by her suspension. But for a lot of them, she'd be able to run something. That was the chance. The only chance she had was to be able to run the 4x1, because the 100 time got wiped out because of the marijuana use. That got wiped out. For those that are not aware, when she gave the reason for why she did it, number one, it was legal where she was. She was in Oregon when they were in those trials. But she said she used it to kind of help calm her down because of the situation with her mother. Like, for those that weren't aware, she lost her mother during the games. Well, before the game, she lost her mother during the time that she was in the qualifying time. But she found out that she lost her mother through one of the reporters that asked her a question about it. She didn't know about it until this reporter brought it up. So she said that stressed her out and it was a trigger for her, and that's what led her to do it. Now, she apologized for that, and she said, I'm not going to make an excuse. What up, J-Man? She said, I'm not going to make an excuse. I knew the rule. I shouldn't have broke it, and I have to be accountable for that, and I apologize to those who I let down that have been holding me down and really rooting for me and being in my corner. So she apologized for that. But like I said, where I felt like things were screwed up, and where one of the reasons I needed to explain in the video is because, for me personally, if I'm in the coaching spot, right, when I see this happen, she had to serve her time. There's no question about that. And I say, baby girl, listen, you've been working your behind off. So if your teammates, we definitely want you over here. You know what I'm saying? Because another thing is she ran the fastest time for America, so she was coming in as the favorite to actually compete against the rest of the world for that 100-meter dash against Shelly-Ann. I think it was Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price that had the fastest time in the world that year. Sha'Carri had the second fastest time. So Sha'Carri for the American team was the one that people were kind of betting on being the one that could, from the American team, could actually compete in the 100 meters to possibly win for America, to win the gold, going into the games. But of course, then the suspension happens. So if I'm the coach, she qualified for the team. She would otherwise be on this team if she had not been penalized for her misconduct, which she had to do, and she accepted that. She accepted that penalty, and you know what I'm saying, she was going to go on that and just serve her penalty, and she did. The team ultimately didn't allow her to run because they said that it would not be fair to the rest of the girls to allow Sha'Carri to run, because she had been penalized and she had to serve that suspension. And the rest of the girls, of course, had not had that happen. So it didn't seem fair to the rest of the girls to bring Sha'Carri back into that midst, pretty much what they were saying, even though they sympathized with her situation, the trigger, and what had happened. They also couldn't allow her in, or they didn't feel like they should. For me personally, I understand that, and I understand the reason. I understand the reason why they said that they wouldn't be being fair to the girls. I understand that. I'm just saying, for me personally, what I would have done to make it different. I'll read that in a second. I don't want to lose my place. What I wanted to make the video to clarify is, if I'm the coach, if I'm Sha'Carri's coach, when I found out, okay, she's got to sit out for this amount of time, but she can still qualify to run 100 meters. As her coach, as somebody who, you know what I'm saying, has been rooting for her and trying to get the team together and trying to get the best going, I don't want her to lose the 4 years for something that she already served a penalty for. She already faced her penalty. She already was sitting out for those 30 days. I don't want to re-penalize her. So what I would have done was say, listen, baby girl, I want you to train your behind off while you're at home. Of course, you can't be here with us for the team because you're suspended right now. When your suspension ends, I want you to train at home, and we're going to fly you out to Tokyo, and we're going to give you the opportunity to get on the track like you always have and like you always will, to prove that you can be on this team. Because the way that it works for the 4x1 is that the top 3 times are automatically on the 4x1 team. This is the American rule. You're already on the 4x1 team because you had the top 3 times. After that, there's one more place, which is the 4, because it's a relay. So you have 4 people, and then you have an alternate. So I would have flown Sha'Carri out to Tokyo to give her the opportunity to be the 4th person or the alternate. And the only way she's going to do that is to get on the track and beat her teammates. Because to me, I'm an athlete, right? I grew up playing football, running track. If my boy, one of my boys that was one of the fastest on the team, if not the fastest when we ran track, was my boy Josh Gaddis. That's now coaching. He's the offensive coordinator for Miami. Not trying to name drop. I'm just making reference. But him and AJ Davis were two of the fastest people on the team for us, especially in the 100 meters. If Josh was in the same situation and I was out there for the 100 meters, we are going to compete for the states or whatever. That didn't even reach the other states because the Olympics is only every 4 years. So she's about to lose this entire 4 years for a mistake that she made that was the trigger. For another part of this BS is because marijuana shouldn't be on a performance enhancing drugs list in the first place. But that's a separate issue. Let me keep to this issue. So if it's my boy Josh, he does something that causes him to get suspended for 30 days. That does not put him off of our team. He's still a part of our team. He's still a part of this track team. He just was facing a suspension. So I don't want him not to be able to compete at all. Now, which is why for me, now again, I'm coming from a competitive side. I'm going to fly her out to give her the opportunity to prove it on the track. For her teammates to prove it on the track. They already have a leg up as it is because they've been running in the 4x1 in the Olympics. They already have a leg up. It doesn't matter what Sha'Carri's doing back home. It's not going to be the same level of competition that she would have been facing if she was in the Olympics. But I'm going to at least give her a fair shot with her teammates as she would have had anyway to be able to make it on this team. That's what I would do. That's not unfair to the girls. It's not unfair to Sha'Carri because Sha'Carri's already served her penalty. Her penalty was 30 days. So she had that 30 days. She couldn't run for 30 days, but she's still a part of this team. If they weren't going to let her come over there, then they should have just kicked her off the team. They didn't do that. They just said, we don't think it would be fair to the girls. And I understand why they're saying that. I just disagree with it. I mean, maybe I'm a competitor. I don't know. But to me, I always want to compete and go earn what it is that I did. I would not want to be, if my boy Josh got disqualified and I happen to be the fifth person out, so I'm the alternate. When Sha'Carri was number one when they qualified, but she gets bumped now. So that means everybody else that was behind her gets bumped up one spot. So the second fastest time is now the first fastest time, and you get it, right? If I get bumped in, I was fifth, I was the alternate, now I get bumped up to fourth. Would I be happy that I have the opportunity to run with this team now? Of course. Of course I'd be happy about that. But in a perfect world, would I want Josh to be able to come and compete for that spot? Yes. Why? Because Josh is the fastest person on our team. And he proved that, and the whole world saw it. So, yes, the Olympic team wiped out her time. But we still have eyeballs, and we still all watched it. You can pull up the video of her beating everybody else to qualify to go to Tokyo yourself. All of us watched it. She served a penalty. So why do I want to punish her twice? As her coach, as the person that gets to make the decision on whether or not this 4 years is about to be wasted for a mistake that she made under stress, and she's 21 years old. Or I can give her the opportunity to come over here and possibly be one of the redemption stories possible. Because if she has the opportunity to prove it on the track among her teammates, she would have some trash teammates to be like, nah, bro, we don't feel like you deserve it because you got caught smoking weed because your mom died, and that's a performance enhancing drug. I feel like I've made enough of the point to be able to get to the fact that this drug was on the performance enhancing list. One of the places that I've seen people poke at with the situation with Russia is the fact that the drug that the young girl was taking was a drug that enhances the heart some way. It enhances the heart or something like that that can help lead to endurance things, which is another point that I was making during the conversation. We don't know what these athletes are taking to help them train, to help them compete. We don't know what the drugs are. The only reason that marijuana is looked at the way it is for those who don't know, but most of us should know by now, marijuana is not anything near what people have been making it to be for all of this time. Marijuana was literally made to be looked at and used in the way that it's used, in the way that it's stigmatized, in the way that it's used in American society and in policing to lock up black people and hippies. Yes, she took 3 drugs, but 2 of them weren't on the ban list. One of them was. That's why the IOC is not going to overturn everything. But the only reason she's able to compete is because she's not competing under Russia. She's competing under that other flag thing that they made up. And Sha'Carri didn't have that situation. I don't think liquor's on a performance enhancing list. I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but somebody can Google it, I'm sure. Um, Sha'Carri didn't try to say that she shouldn't, that she didn't know the rule and that she shouldn't have done it. She served her suspension already. So that's part of my point. She served her suspension. So if she already served her suspension, I'm her coach. Why in the world would I penalize her twice? When she's a teammate of mine, she's a compatriot of mine. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? To me, to penalize her twice. What's up, Laurie?
Hey.
I didn't know if you wanted to come in early or not. But I think I made for the most part. I think I made the point that I wanted to make, and hopefully Jatovi's in here, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm saying as a competitor, for me, if that was me and my boys that I ran track with, I would not want to be. Would I be happy that I had the opportunity that I was fifth and now I'm fourth? She smoked me when we ran these trials. Um, would I be happy to be able to run? Yes. But would I rather have my boy, after he served his penalty, have the opportunity to possibly run with us? Yes. To me, I wouldn't feel like that was unfair at all. Not me. Now, I can't speak for everybody. Everybody's not competitive. Some people might run track because they think it's cute. I don't know what the reason is that people do things, but I know for me, if I'm competing, I don't want to be given a spot because somebody that has already proven they were better than me, at least for that day, has been disqualified for something. Um, Maybe that the IOC could have invalidated any medals won that. Yeah, maybe that too. I agree, but she shouldn't have not ran. And America is the one that the American team is the one that said they were not going to allow her to run. We all were looking forward to her possibly running because we knew she could qualify for the 4x1 team. But they took that off the board, in my opinion, and that to me is BS. There was no reason for them to do that. She already served a penalty. That's like how we look at the prison system now. When you have somebody they've been in prison, they served their time, but then you still got them on probation, you still got an ankle bracelet on them, knowing what the recidivism rate is. You know for doggone sure when they fill out this job application, they got to check that box, and that almost certainly means they're not getting that job. You know what I'm saying? So like we already know how the recidivism rates work. We already know how all of that stuff works, and we still do people like that on a regular basis after they've already served their time anyway. So I mean, we understood your point in the discussion. The problem is, again, she never practiced with the team. The 4x1 is not a plug and play thing. I ran relays, Jatovia. Okay. So I told you I would look up the time that they had to be able to prepare. I think the finals for the 4x1 was August 6th. Her suspension was up July 28th. She could have flown out on July 28th. The team had already been practicing, right? The quarterfinals, I think, started on August 4th. I don't think you can make the case that in a 4x1, she gets there on July 28th. She runs. She gets into that top five. If you're telling me that they could not have trained to pass the stick, right? To be able to pass the stick among each other in 5 days, to be able to do that efficiently enough to win the 4x1, I just disagree with you because I've done it. You know what I'm saying? I've done it. I've run on the 4x1 team. I've run on the 4x2 team. I've run on the 4x4 team. Stick passing is very important, but if you're going, the 4x1 is the most important because you have a limited amount of time to get the stick right. But again, number one, Sha'Carri could have been practicing back home. Number two, the team's already been practicing. So you got one person that had to come out there and qualify. Now they've qualified, right? And now you have 5 days to be able to practice before you actually get out there for quarterfinals. So to me, they still had enough time. Would you rather have had a month? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if she came out there and she qualified, I'm not getting ready to do her dirty twice. And she already got penalized for some BS anyway. It was BS. I think all of us can point to and agree that marijuana is not a performance enhancing drug. I have no idea how marijuana will aid you in running faster at all. Like if you said marijuana is going to chill me out, it's going to chill me out and make me focus better, right? Cool. Like if we were having a video game playing contest, that's what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yes, that's a performance enhancing drug. If we were, watching TV, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There are things that if we were eating snacks, heck yes, it's a performance enhancing drug. But it's not the Olympics of snacks. Like,
I
go
I
ahead,
was
Lord.
just going to add, I think the only way that it could really count that way, and I'm very pro marijuana, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
is pain. It makes
Yeah,
pain
yeah,
better.
yeah.
So you
Mm-hmm.
could push through painful, you know what I mean? You could push through pain easier. That's the only,
Agreed. That's the only thing I can see too. Or anxiety, to help with anxiety, right?
sure.
But one of the points that I made earlier in the conversation on my page was, again, we don't know what drugs the athletes that are there are taking right now. Like we know Michael Phelps. Somebody wrote on the comment earlier. Michael Phelps was taking drugs to help him eat, to keep the amount of calories that he needed to eat per day.
Sure.
To what I'm saying, he was taking something to help him do that. Right. That's performance enhancing. Right.
There's some just like cardiac medications like metoprolol that will help with anxiety that probably aren't on the list, you know what I mean? But they'll still
Yeah.
have an effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So, but that part of my point is that there are drugs that the athletes are allowed to take that we have no idea what those drugs are, nor do we care. The only reason they care about marijuana is because of the stigma of marijuana. That's it. It has nothing to do. We know for a fact it's not a performance enhancing drug. That we know, which is why I think most people agree that that rule should be changed at this point. Maybe they don't. Because to me, if you have even Congress starting to come together to say, hey, we should start legalizing this in all of these states and trying to find ways for them to make money on it, that's because they already knew and they've known for all of this time marijuana is BS. And the
Yeah.
stick that they
Yeah.
put on marijuana is BS. So, um, I mean, like I said, I think maybe the separating line is that I don't know. I'm competitive. Because I don't understand for a second how I could feel good knowing that my boy that toasted us in front of the world is on the other side of the world when he could be at least competing to see whether he's eligible to run with us, and he gives us a better chance to win because he's the fastest of us.
But yeah, don't they want the win for the team anyway? Like, isn't that the best
That
scenario?
exactly that's my point. Like if I know this person is the fastest, but they're not here, why wouldn't I want them to be here? Now, if they get over here and they can't, if they get over here and they can't cut it, right? If they don't get into the top five, that's what I would tell Sha'Carri. Like, look, you got to come in the top five, right? You have to come in the top five. If you can't, I'm sorry, we can't let you run. But if you do, then we'll let you into either the fourth spot or the alternate spot based on where you place. But again, the point is you prove it on the track. I don't want to prove it by saying, nah, that's not fair to that's not fair to the rest of the girls. I don't understand how it would not be fair to them. That's what never made sense to me when we were having the conversation earlier. I have no idea how that's not fair to the other girls, or like how that's like slighting them, or we're still celebrating the other girls. I think they came in second. Um, I have to go back and look at the tenths of seconds that they lost by. But if we look at that and then put Sha'Carri's time, which was 10.86, versus whoever the fastest split was, somebody do that. Somebody look up what the fastest split was for the U.S. team, for the U.S. women's team. Look up what the fastest split was and then compare it to 10.86, and let's do the math on that and see whether or not, if Sha'Carri had have ran at least what she did at the qualifier, whether or not they could have beat Jamaica in that race. It's all speculative at that point. But I'm just saying, to me, it's not unfair to the girls that are already there. Not at all, because they're already competing in the Olympics anyway. They could run in the regular 4x1 and win a medal. They can still run the relay, and they still got to burn Sha'Carri anyway. So I don't get it. Um, because you're giving preference. How is that preferential treatment? I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how, if you're on the track and we're all racing, you know what I'm saying? Because she's still a part of this team. If you kicked her off the team, I get it. But you didn't kick her off the team. You just said it's not going to be fair to the girls to have her compete. And that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how there's preferential treatment at all. Yeah, who cares? That wasn't in the Olympics. That was after the fact. She wasn't running with her team because everyone else followed the rule. I'm you keep making points that don't. It doesn't. She served her penalty, right? So after you, if you go to prison and you serve your time, do you come out still a criminal? You just be a criminal the rest of your life. You always gonna have a scarlet letter on. If you cheat, you always a cheater. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like to me, people like being absolutists. You don't need any grace. You don't need any mercy. If you messed up, f you forever. Like that doesn't make any sense. If she served a penalty, why would you penalize her again? For what? She's a part of
Yeah.
your team. She's a part
I
of your team.
yeah. Yeah. I guess what Toby's saying too though is that like, she broke the rules and then she was penalized, but she words just fell out of my brain. She I guess broke the rules for her team too. So it's like a double
Mhm.
whammy and like because of that, yeah. But I don't know.
I mean, I get that too, but again, that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the case, then they should have just kicked her off the team and said she's not allowed to compete. Period, because she
Yeah, or
disappointed.
or just been like, look, don't do that again. If you do, we'll kick you off the team.
Yeah, anything like that. But they didn't do any of that. They just
Yeah.
said we're not going to allow her to compete because it wouldn't be fair to the rest of the girls, and I disagree. I think that's BS. What's up, Sarah? How you doing?
Super. I kind of forgot that you were going live earlier, but when you said it was about the Sha'Carri Richardson thing, I was like, I don't know enough about that to have an informed opinion. I
Yeah,
I do know what I know the basics of it, but I was like,
yeah. No, I
but
get it.
I don't want to
That's
weigh in too much, but yeah, like I was like, it's definitely an issue, but yeah.
what up, Rock? What up,
What's
big
up?
bro?
What's up?
How you doing?
I wanted to make sure I got that in before everybody got in, so I timed it out just about right so I can at least explain, you know what I'm saying, what I was saying before, you know what I mean, in that conversation that people missed. So I was able to do that. I'm happy. If everybody else isn't happy, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You'll be all right. Got to transition into the show now. As you can see, my boy Danny J. Quick, Juwan Stokes have joined us, and Rotsy is back up in here. Uh, and then you also see our two guests that you have met before. Uh, the wonderful and lovely Laurie Foster and Sarah White with Unlikely Hero Studios. They have another Kickstarter. Man, first off, let me make sure that I get this out. Everybody's breaking my pockets. It is insane the amount of Kickstarters that are going on at the same time right now, and it is really treacherous on my pockets. But I mean, it's a lot of. I know a lot of dope people, and I know a lot of dope people doing dope projects, and I guess that's just how the cookie crumbles. You know what I mean? Like I have to eat it.
I
It's
totally get that, and like I want to back them all at a physical tier too, because I like having the print book, but there's like 20 of them, and I'm like, I can't.
that's I'm just now getting to the point where I'm like, man, I hope ain't nobody mad at me, bro. But I literally cannot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've spent in the last 2 months, I don't know how much money has gone towards Kickstarters, but it's way too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
That's where I'm at now.
You're better than me, man. I can't. If I can, I can.
Yeah.
I just started incorporating everybody into the budget. Like I picked 2 to 3 people to support for the month of February, January, and because I can't be down and out trying to support.
Trust. Hey, I'm going to adopt the Rotsy method because that's what it means. My brain, my pocket, all of that stuff hurts. But
so I'm gonna let you know ahead of time. You got something from me in April.
God Almighty, man, I hate you guys.
By the way, that's exclusive right there.
God Almighty, man.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I appreciate the exclusivity, but my God,
I even show you something real quick. Don't screenshot.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna screenshot it.
Gonna...
I'm definitely screenshotting it.
I can't.
It's a glare on it though, so I can't.
I know. I had to bring it back.
We're getting some of it though. That
got
was
a little bit. That's all. That's all y'all get for now. Hopefully, I'm gonna have the cover done 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks.
Hey, listen, that's your own timeline, bro. I can't get at you.
I know.
You know
Nah,
what I mean?
man,
I can't
I
say
gotta get at me.
yeah. All right. Now you know, dog. Well, I don't have no problem getting at you for you. Like I will definitely get at you for you.
You know,
You
I
just
really do need an editor. Like I do. I just can't afford to pay nobody right now. That's
hey,
all. If I could afford to pay somebody, I would have an editor right here.
I'm about to say you looking at one of the best in the face right now.
We've already talked about inking because I need an inker for show.
I'm just saying, Laurie is.
When he takes that next step, I'm definitely more than happy to
I'm
be
just
like,
saying, Laurie is a beast now.
Yeah, oh no, we already talked.
Laurie's been.
You know what though? We could do something. We could work. We could work together to do that Lumberjacks Ace Bleed Heat crossover.
Yeah, look, that's what I'm saying. Y'all, it's too much. It's too much. Let me kick it to Laurie and Sarah. First, let me say, I'm almost 100% sure I was number one again, but I'm not trying to brag or anything, but kind of I am. I mean, but
you were number one.
Yes. I told you we were going to say it out loud on the stream, and we did. You were number one.
I told you guys. I told you I was going to be number one again.
Wait, for which one?
For Elsewhere.
Yeah, I was number one again.
Oh, I know. I thought you were talking about. Never mind.
Nah, I'm number one. I was number one again, and I don't know why people are competing with me. It doesn't make any sense. Just give it up. You know what I mean? Like, just stop. Romeo Hill doesn't even try anymore. I've beaten that man into submission, and I like it. Anyway, Elsewhere, Laurie, Sarah, take us into it. You know what I mean? Laurie, especially because I know how much you like. You just a master of disaster when it comes to running these Kickstarters. So I mean, take us inside it and how strenuous it is, and I'm gonna screen share it.
Sure. So Elsewhere is basically our yearly anthology. We get submissions from creators all over the world. And the theme is elsewhere. So we're jumping between stories, we're jumping dimensions, we're jumping genres, we're jumping art styles. It's all over the place, which I really like. I want to say we have 40 something contributors on this one. It's going to be like
45, 44,
yeah.
45. Yeah, something like that.
And it's like
I know we counted them out a couple days ago and
we did, and I don't remember the number.
Me neither. It's 40 something though. I think it's either 44 or 45. So,
but yeah, like it goes from straight up horror and gore to like a monster who can't get his soup warm. It's all over the place. It's great.
What?
There should be some gifs of kind of what we got here with the genres and the.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all kinds of different art styles. Like Laurie said, Elsewhere is the theme. So it's like just the idea that this one crazy story with the apple pirates there is happening while this other story is happening with the space monsters and the soup and stuff. Like it's just basically wide open. Really, I mean, I almost like that. We haven't really gotten much in the way of superheroes in here at all. So. It's really cool, off the beaten path kind of anthology. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we also have like first-time creators in here. We have pros. We have just the whole gamut of creators and artists and writers. And there you can see the list of everyone involved.
That's amazing.
Oh wow! I know some names in there. I see some names in there.
That's insane, yo.
I hope you see a bunch of names, because it's all across, like Laurie said, people who've been doing this for years and people who've never done it before at all.
That's amazing. I mean, I know how strenuous running a regular Kickstarter is that's not an anthology, so I can't imagine how. I've said this before because we were in Elsewhere too, me and Danny, and when we were still with short fuse, and Laurie is amazing at being able to coordinate. 40 freaking people is insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and try to coordinate and make sure everybody gets everything in on time and cross promoting, bless you, and everything that goes into that is insane. So you and Sarah are doing massive amounts of greatness because I couldn't possibly.
Thank you.
Kind
Yeah,
of like
you-
herding cats, and I don't even do all the. I like when you guys, if you submit to elsewhere, you're not talking to me, you're talking to Laurie. So like she has to herd the cats, and I just kind of like, here's the net for you to help herd the cats. Like I don't do any actual cat herd.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's freaking ridiculous. Oh wait, let me go down his leather bound. Y'all see that? That's
Wow.
that's goals. That's goals right there, yo. I have to do a lumberjacks, and it has to be a leather bound book. That's insane. I don't know how much that costs, but I'm gonna find out.
oh, dude, you know what, too? The guys who do it for us, like he has some leather bounds that have like gems on them and stuff. You could do like the lumberjacks, like
Oh my
the
god.
gems from the
Oh,
necklace on the
oh.
front of it. Oh,
Laurie's trying to bankrupt you over here. You hear
I'm
this?
telling you, why would you tell me
Dang.
that right now? Oh my god.
Hey, it would look so gorgeous, though. It would look so amazing.
I agree.
I agree. That would look really good. I'm
that's
actually
a
down
great
for that.
idea.
Morgan, I'll go and have with you on that, bro. That sounds amazing.
Nice.
that would be epic. Come on. Yeah, I'll hook you guys up with the dude. He's awesome. He's really nice. They do them all by hand.
Oh, really?
Grief.
Yep.
I just need to know how much it is.
I might need to know that information as well.
I just need to make
It's,
sure everybody sees this too as well. Just I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
Just in case I just want to point that out.
You were number one.
As always, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to pop my collar or anything because I don't have one, but you got to do it every now and then.
Brian Lambert tried to start shit about it, and he wasn't. I don't think he was even in the top 10. So
See,
Oh, damn.
Brian don't want
Wow,
smoke
big
with me,
talk,
man.
no follow through.
Brian don't want no smoke with me, man. He just be bumping his gum. I can't wait to meet that dude in person. Is there any did you want to play the trailer?
Oh, sure, yeah, we can do that if you want.
All right.
Kind of gives you another peek at more of the art.
Okay.
Let's see if it.
It can be difficult to find authenticity. Human truths and unashamed expression seem to be going out of style. We shy away from that which frightens us. We don't want to admit enjoying simple pleasures. We are uncomfortable abiding in confusion. The problem may be one of place. Try looking elsewhere. In these pages, comics creators from all over the world have come together to open their hearts, minds, and veins to share stories authentically, truthfully, and unashamed. Genres, styles, settings, and moods shift organically, dreamlike. The safest way to make this journey is with an open mind, a snack and a beverage, and some time to think, absorb, and feel. Welcome home.
I swear that's goals.
How did
I
y'all
was
get
talking-
Vincent Price to do your voiceover?
Right?
Oh, we got to make sure he hears about that, Laurie.
Yeah.
He's a Vincent Price.
The guy who did the voiceover is actually John Chance. He's the writer for 2 of the stories in the anthology, and we found out he did voices too, and he offered to do it. So,
Man, John is my guy, man. He has been shouting out, and he's been shouting out Lumberjacks a lot, and we talk offline sometimes. So he's great people, man.
yeah, he's awesome.
Mhm.
He's so enthusiastic, and he loves everyone in the indie community. He's a really cool dude.
Yeah, that's extremely apparent. So, I mean, is there anything else? Like I went through some of the reward tiers, but like, are there any in specific that you want to highlight? I noticed we got the stretch goal. Where we at? 85.63.
We're
So
just shy of that stretch goal, yeah.
okay.
And that'll be a metal bookmark of those creepy eyes.
Okay. That the back mark that you have for Elsewhere #2 with the one that Laurie and Katie did, man, I freaking that thing is amazing. I love it. And it's a simple. It's like it's not even, huh?
You said Laurie and Katie. It was Sarah and Katie.
Oh yeah, Sarah. Sarah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Sarah and Katie. That was it wasn't like elaborate artwork. It didn't need to be. It was just so. I have to find a picture and put it up here because it was awesome to me. But yeah, okay, that's dope.
That panel lent itself pretty freaking perfectly to the bookmark, didn't it? It was
definitely
the right shape and everything, and it was just. I mean, the Katie's art in there, it was just like she is a magician with lighting in her paintings. She is just so good at the lighting.
Yep.
And I just like, I'm like, if I just like rub her head or something, can I get that good at it? Like, I just want to be able to be that good at it. She is so good at light. I mean, well, she's good at everything with art, but she's good at the light. She's exceptionally good at the light.
That was one of the reasons I wanted to get her on Solitary. I was so happy to get her to do
that. In terms of rewards, it's not like super mind-blowing variety here. We have of course, the new volume. I think we still have some volume 2s and 3s together packages, but the volume 1s are all sold out. We have a t-shirt, we have a hoodie, which I'm really excited about, and I'm going to have to get one.
Okay.
And then with stretch goals, we're planning to add the metal bookmark and prints. If we hit 12K, I'm going to add in the holofoil edition that I'm hoping some people will go for, because that's going to look really slick with that cover.
Okay. It definitely would. Yeah, that cover is going to look amazing in holofoil. I'm going to go back up so people can see. Yeah. Yeah, that cover is going to look dope in holofoil, especially this part right here. That's going to be
awesome.
Now you do this anthology yearly or?
Yeah, once a year. Basically, as soon as we finish this one, we start taking submissions for the next one, and the deadline for submissions is end of November, and then we put it together and we launch it in February, basically.
I got to get in this one. I got it.
Yeah, me and Danny.
Morgan's got one. You said you had one too that you wanted to get into this one. You got to get in next year.
I was so mad because when Laurie had said something about it, and I forgot because I was still trying to get like Lumberjacks ready and make sure everybody was going to be in. You know what I mean? So,
what's the page length for the stories?
It's basically between 1 and 10 is the typical. Though oftentimes right in the middle of those is the sweet spot in terms of pacing and getting a really good story. But we do have some 10-page ones in this volume that are really, really good.
Okay. All right.
And I think exceptions have been made for a really good one that's more pages, of like an extra page or two, right? I mean, wouldn't want to do like a 30-page one. We wouldn't accept that. But yeah, if it's a really good story and you got 12 pages, maybe we'll be fine with it.
Yeah. It's flexible.
I mean, there's a one page. There's definitely was a one pager in last year's volume, but there's a one pager in this one too, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then there's a few 2-pagers. Mine is a 2-pager. Yeah, and then there's some that go the whole way.
Oh, Danny went to go.
There it is.
Danny went to go. Hold on, let me blow it up. Danny always showing something off, bro. There it goes.
Danny just wanted to be the only one seen. He just wanted to be the only one seen.
That's because I've like everybody else here, I've backed a lot of Kickstarters, but we were honored to be in this one. Back when we were with Short Fuse, I made it my personal mission to make sure that our stuff got into this book. So I'm glad we were able to do that.
It'll be in Elsewhere 4 too. That's for sure.
Yeah, we need you guys back in.
I'm a try, man. I gotta
take
try.
The baby.
I gotta try.
I was sincerely sad about that. Was there anything else that y'all wanted to get into about it, or I mean, I've already backed, as you can see up at the top.
Morgan, we heard you like 5
I don't want to reiterate it. You know what I'm saying?
I just want you to understand that
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
our
Like,
volume works.
I mean,
we
I
heard
just, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that was known. I got in there first.
All right.
So
I hope you're not doing a drinking game with this, because y'all will be plastered. Hey, listen, if you took a drink every time Morgan said, I'm just saying, if you took a drink every time Morgan said, "All right, man, I already pledged," you would be drunk right now.
I mean, I'm just circling right here. That's, you know, trying to be effective. Sorry, I apologize.
Don't apologize, man. I appreciate that you support the indies. That's always a beautiful thing.
Well, you know, hurts my pockets, but it's all good. What were you saying, Laurie? I'm sorry, before Jatobi rudely interrupted.
It's okay. I forget. Let me see if I can remember what the hell I was saying. I was just gonna say, like, if you're looking for just a bunch of really different, really good comic content in one place, like, this is the way to get it. Like, there's so much of it. Like I said, it's 150 pages. If you get elsewhere too, it's 250 pages. Like, that's a lot of fucking comics by a lot of really talented people. So
yeah. All right.
Do you guys do Comic Cons? Just curious.
Well, we haven't done really since COVID, but we did.
Yeah, I go to little ones around, like little local ones. I unfortunately, the nearest big one is like fucking 4-hour drive or something like that to get to C2E2. And I definitely, like, that's on my list of hopefully maybe even this year if I'm really lucky, but that's on the list for soon. And we've been talking for what, like 3 or 4 years now about how we would like keep trying to get everybody to coordinate to get to at least one big con, which would be really cool. But yeah, like figuring it out.
Don't start, Danny. Don't do this.
Yeah, don't do that, Jamie. Don't start.
Big shows are definitely a scam. We've had.
Oh my god, you did it anyway.
It's a scam in the price that they charge for us to get there, like the artists and vendors to get there. But there's just so many people that come. There's so many people that would otherwise never get exposed to your stuff that come to those things, and that's like the only reason that I am supporting this venture to try and get, you know, if it's just me or like just John or whoever, you know, like just to get UHS to these bigger cons in some form. And it's strictly because then we can get more books in front of more faces. And that's the only reason that I am I'm not agreeing to the price. I disagree very strongly with the price. You know, you shouldn't have to pay $1,000 for a table, but
what cons you going to that costs $1,000?
Right. So I was going to say, to add to that, it really depends on the con. Denver Comic Con is a big con, but it's a very good con in terms of comics. Wizard World, cough, 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 is garbage.
Wizard World is no.
It's overpriced.
Wizard World still exists?
I don't know, but when it did exist, it was like $500. It was $500. It was $500 a table, and you didn't make the ticket because everyone's going there for not comics. But like Denver Comic Con, there's a few bigger ones like in Baltimore or in Denver that are really good, that are like mid-level, but not, you know, $500 a table, and you know, yeah.
I've done the fan expos. They've generally been pretty good.
I'm like, everybody's like freaking out about the $1,000 comment, and I'm just like, now I cannot remember what con it was that wanted $1,000, and I'm like, you guys are out of your damn minds. I am not giving. I wouldn't even give you half that.
I would have laughed. San Diego does.
San Diego's pretty high. Yeah.
I'm at San Diego.
Comic Con doesn't even ask for $1,000.
Dragon Con does not. Dragon Con. I want to say Dragon Con was like half that. Yeah.
What?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done Dragon Con.
Daniel.
It's $350.
Huh? What happened?
Like, did you hear that?
Oh, you know, I'm always down for anything.
You can apply. So here for the people, for anybody that's trying to do Comic Cons and you're worried about how much you're gonna pay for the table, you can apply for something called professional. Is a professional badge, right? I don't know if you guys know about this. You apply for the professional badge, and they give you a table.
It sounds like Comic Con welfare.
Oh,
is it like an EBT card or something?
No, they give you a table because you're a professional.
The some of them, like those badges, they limit where you can use the badge. Like, they're limit where you can go with it. You can't go to like panels and stuff with those badges.
No. It's not like it's like
but yeah, like but you get a table.
Yeah, you get a table. Like, you don't pay for the table. Like, you get a table. They're not gonna pay for your flight and everything like Danny want. Like, Danny want them to pay for his flight, his hotel, his everything like that.
Hey, listen,
that would be nice, but
I mean, it'd be nice too, but you don't.
Hey, listen, don't get it twisted. I'm gonna find my Comic-Con EBT card. I'm gonna figure that out.
I've already applied for Dragon Cons.
All right, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Fan Expo does that as well. Fan Expo allows for I'm just helping everybody out, because what they do is they take all your information and then they kind of like check on you. Like, they check your website, they check your content and what you've put out. And then if you fit their certain criteria, then they give you a table. If you have enough, like you guys, UHS, you guys should be like,
if you fit the description,
you guys should be able to get it.
I need to look into this.
Yeah. My
you gotta look for it. It's like, says professional. It says professional something, application or something.
Yeah, I've applied for my problem was never the badge itself. Like, getting to the convention was always my issue, because with the amount of shit we have to bring with us. You can't fly. It's not realistic to fly. And well, now my car's fine now, but like before, I had this this Volkswagen POS that it could barely get me to work and back, and I was afraid of it bursting into flames. So like, I wasn't going to be driving to Atlanta with that. But I mean, now I could, and then
risk a little burn. It'll be all right.
When I did Dragon Con, I ordered copies of my book and I just shipped them directly. I had a family member there, and I just shipped them directly there.
Yeah, you
can.
Yeah,
see, now I have just before COVID hit, a friend.
No, you don't. Wherever you ordered the book, you just send the delivery. Don't send it to your house. Send it someplace else. So I sent it to my cousin's house.
Hey, that's actually a really good segue before we get into the list, because I told you guys I had to at least say my piece about this before we get into the next thing. And I don't know who's seen it and who didn't see it. I don't know who's seen it and who didn't see it, but I want to make sure I get to see it before we go into the list. Okay. Go. All right. So for those, hold on, let me, I'm in the A. You can see, who is that? Put your name in here, because it's not showing up for whatever reason. Because you just effed up. Don't think we're not going to hit you up. Do not.
I have a friend that's
understand though. I had to ship it, the remaining books back, but it wasn't a lot. So
yeah. I've got a buddy down there now. He's near Atlanta, and that's what he told me, that I can do that with his place. And so I was like, good, because I have like 4 boxes of crap that I can ship to your house, and that would save some money. Then I can take a plane.
You saw that, Danny?
Oh, gotta find a workaround, man. Gotta find a workaround.
Now that I have that, that's fantastic.
We're gonna have a stock of Ace Blade and Lumberjacks in his house.
Straight up. Straight up. Get ready.
I think the only thing I did ship that I shipped from here was my banner. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do this quickly, and I'm gonna set it up for everybody who may not be aware. I don't know who watches college basketball or not. It's fine if you don't. There was an incident.
How was that a segue?
There was because Danny said, Danny said you balled or not, and I. What I mean?
That was a terrible segue. No.
Yeah. Very, very loose definition of segue, but it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a broke segue, but it's a segue. So Juwan Howard, right? He's the coach of Michigan. The Wisconsin coach. If one more person gets Ace Blade before I get hold on, bro. You can't be challenging, but you can't be questioning my boy online.
That's a whole threat online. Yeah,
literally the FBI. Zuckerberg, look at this. Look at what's going on.
He's on YouTube. That's Google. I don't even know that's Google.
Let me go ahead and send you your tracking number, BJ. Don't even worry about it.
BJ, you driving all the way down with my comic book in your hand? I mean, that's weird.
I don't know what's going on, but you guys are making me nervous. So, all right, Michigan game, Wisconsin. They played this last week, I believe. Wisconsin beat them by like 12 points, right? At the end of the game, Wisconsin was up. Juwan Howard decided to call for his team to do a press, and it was like 12 seconds left. The Wisconsin's coach called a timeout when that happened. And Juwan Howard didn't appreciate it because you're already up by 12 points. It doesn't matter whether we're pressing. There's 12 seconds left in the game. Why are you doing that? Juwan Howard was pissed. So when they got ready to do the handshake lines, like you do at the end of sports games, Juwan Howard wasn't immediately going to shake his hand. He shook it briefly, but at the same time pulled his mask down and said, "I'm gonna remember that ish." The coach for Wisconsin then proceeded to I want to say accost him, but you know what I'm saying? Juwan Howard shakes his hand, says, "I'm gonna remember that," and starts veering to go this way. The Wisconsin coach steps in front of him, puts his arms on his like here. Juwan's like, "Yo, don't touch me! Stop touching me!" And the Wisconsin coach is trying to talk to him, holding him, or whatever. Juwan starts pointing his finger in his face. Then this Wisconsin coach's assistant coach runs up and says something. I don't know what he said. But he said something, and Juwan Howard was stepping away, and then he reached over top of him, popped old buddy in the mouth, and then everybody was like, "Oh snap! What just happened?" And then there was a fight on the court briefly, and then they broke it up.
All right. Wait! This happened this week because I'm not.
Yes.
Let me.
Like 3 days ago.
I could play the video if somebody wants to see it.
I'll be real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, and my blackness might be revoked.
I get it. Hold on.
But
go ahead, Juwan.
Juwan was wrong, man. Juwan was wrong.
That's why I said I want to bring it up.
He was wrong, dude. He was wrong. Come on, man.
That man put his hands on him. He deserved.
Yeah, but hold on, though. He didn't hit the dude that put hands on him. He hit the other dude.
I hear you.
You and your crew can get it. Like whoever step up.
You can't be a coach. You can't be a coach. You can't be a coach of young black men and then smack another coach like that.
Can't you know?
Because, all right. So what you gonna do if you're one of the guys on your team that you're coaching? He get fouled in a way that he don't like, and he decide to punch dude. You can't be like, man, you don't do that. Like, nah, he just watched him slap the spit out of somebody.
I tell my kids,
I would have been on the sideline.
What'd you say?
I would have been on the sideline and say and done like one of those numbers like, no, that's bad. You can't do that. Don't do that. You can't. Don't do that. And that's what I do. But I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it so everybody can see what I'm talking about.
Not coaching no sports.
I did see this.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna play it for those who are watching that might have missed it, so that you have context. And then I'm gonna get into it briefly. You know what I'm saying? I want to get into it, like what I think about it. Y'all can say what you think about it, and then we'll get into the list. All right, that's cool with everybody?
Cool.
Yep.
All right, bet. All right, here we go.
And Juwan Howard not going over immediately to shake hands. Now he's going to get in the line. Interesting finish here. 77.
What's up with your Wi-Fi, dude?
Howard and Guard are not happy right now as the two of them continue to have word. Told you Juwan Howard was not about that timeout. Yo! And Juwan Howard threw a right hand.
No, we can't tell what's going on right here. I just want you to understand. You didn't even see
like the EBT Wi-Fi.
Y'all can't see it? What?
She said the EBT.
Oh, it wasn't playing?
No, we did not. It was playing like
good at the beginning, and then it got kind of choppy there.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you why your boy who came in deserved to get punched. Because if me and another person, say me and Morgan are arguing, right? It's face to face, right? If Javon comes into my periphery, I'm thinking it's about to go down. Like if somebody runs up because me and Morgan are fighting, yo, you gotta get an elbow. Like I gotta get you up off of me. So
he got pulled away though. Like Juwan was like 10, 15 feet away by that time. He came back over to smack Holmes.
gotta protect yourself
must
at all
have said
times.
something kind of wrong.
That's why he's wrong. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like it was like
Protect yourself at all
he's
times.
arguing with the dude, then the dude came in his face, then he said something, then he hit him. It was like they were arguing, everybody pulled him away. Homeboy came up and said something. He pushed through all his people and then came back and smacked him.
Should have said nothing about his mama.
That's what I say. you said something. You said something about that man, mama or granny or like. Because look, okay,
He's wrong. Like it's okay for him to be wrong, yo. Like it's okay.
Listen,
it's okay for him to be wrong, but to be like he probably deserved to be hit. But like as a coach, you're a coach of a premier basketball program. You can't walk around pimp slapping people. You can't. Like
but the way is that the other coach that grabs him? Who grabs him?
So the head coach is the one that, like, Juwan was walking by him, he pulled his mask down, and that's the guy that grabbed him was Wisconsin's head coach. The guy that he hit was an assistant coach for Wisconsin.
Right. The first guy that grabs him like holds him for a long time, and you can see that it's like really fucking uncomfortable. Like
right, he's wrong there.
And he's like that triggers it, I think. Like I feel like he's sitting there like I just want to get away and there's cameras on me and this guy's fucking holding me.
Right. That part, that's not Juwan's fault. Juwan is absolutely right when he's like, all right, don't touch me, don't put your hands on me. Like he's absolutely right. But when you get pulled away, it's like when you separate the fight, like both sides got to calm down and call it. Yeah. Old boy come in. I don't know where old boy decided to come in and say your mama is I don't know.
He said something,
but you can't come back over to the fight. Like you come back over to the fight hitting, then you kind of lose the moral high ground.
I don't know.
Because if it was one of the kids, that kid would be probably suspended for the whole season. He'd be out.
He got 5 games, right?
He got 5 games. Yeah,
Juwan got 5 games, which is the rest of the regular season. I think he'll be back if they make the if they make the tournament. So he had to have some type of disciplinary action for sure, because you smacked the dude in front of the world, you know what I'm saying, and you're the head coach. I mean, you can't just go around smacking people. I get it. But when I get ready to assert blame, because there were some people saying Juwan Howard should lose his job, and I was like, nah, definitely not. Because
I mean, if you went into your job and smacked somebody, you probably lose your job.
If they put their hands on me first.
But he didn't smack the dude that put his hands on him.
The dude that ran up.
Happens in sports all the time, though, doesn't it? I mean, like those little tussles like that happen a lot, and nobody gets fired.
Not the coaches usually.
Oh, that's fair. Okay, and that's like what you were saying. The coaches are supposed to, like, regardless of who they're coaching, should be role models, and they should be acting the way that they want their team to act. So yeah, like that was both of them were being shitty for that. But
is the guy that grabbed him getting suspended?
No.
No, he didn't get slapped though.
That was when I saw it. I was like, you can't just grab me and think that I'm gonna let that slide.
That's what I'm saying.
I get though. You know what? If he had smacked Holmes after he grabbed him, I'd be like, you probably deserve it.
Yeah.
But he smacked the whole other person.
Yeah. No, look, that's what made it more funny to me. That's what made it more funny to me. Because when I first watched it, when he reached over there and slapped that guy, I fell out laughing because I was like, bruh, what just happened? But it was only because I was like, what did you say to make this man come back over there and reach across like 5 people and be like, bow, like he baptized that dude in front of the world. You know what I'm saying? And
that was a hard slap too, though. That was a hard, like, heavy-handed slap
out of that kid. So, and I'm trying to figure out what could he have said to him to make, because again, Juwan in his playing days, he played with the Fab Five, so he ain't no punk. Now we know that, but he wasn't the type to be like, he's not Dennis Rodman or Draymond Green or, you know what I'm saying, like somebody that you already know. Not only do they want smoke, but they want fire. They want, you know what I mean, like that. You know what I mean, like that, it's not that type of party. Juwan ain't, you know what I mean? Like he don't go around just beating people up. So to me, it seems like old buddy had to say. I'm not excusing it. He's a coach. You shouldn't do that.
Maybe he just forgot where he was at.
Oh, he definitely forgot where he was at.
I still think it's a very minimum. The Wisconsin coach should also get suspended for a couple of games.
I agree.
If you just like grab someone on the bus, if you grab someone on the bus and you don't let them go, like that's assault.
Yeah,
yes.
That if that didn't happen, nothing else after that would have happened. That was the inciting incident.
Yeah. That was my point on my post.
Well, penalize them both at least.
My point on my post was whatever happened to Juwan got to happen to the coach of Wisconsin because he
I wouldn't say that's definitely not the same.
Maybe not to you. To me, none of
that's the same, dude.
To me, none of that happens if that man don't put his hands on him.
That's
it would have just
fine,
been.
but it ain't
It would have
the
just
same,
been Juwan. Juwan simply said, "I'm gonna remember that ish," and it could have been.
Fined the coach? Oh, they fined him $10,000.
Okay, look,
fines for these people are meaningless.
He makes like
their ass with $10,000,
several $1 million a year. I mean, Wisconsin.
You don't know. He could have gambling problem. He could be strapped.
That's his own personal character failure. There, that is not the NCAA's problem. If he doesn't know how to, handle his money,
that's why the fine can work. That's why the fine can be something.
I bet you got a little bit of trauma with him now too, because the way he watched his boy get slapped up, he said, "Damn." You know, ain't no way you did. Like he felt the wind from that smack. Ain't no way that dude. Like, you know, like he, you know, say, you know, he skirted this out like, oh god, you know what I mean? Like that could have been me. There's no way that dude's not traumatized. I bet you he won't do it again. I bet you he will not do it again.
I mean, it'd be nice.
He felt his soul like leave his body. Just
I'm telling you, that could have been me.
Like Doctor Strange, like when the ancient one
slapped him into the astral plane.
Look, I was dying laughing when he smacked that dude. I said, "Bro, why he hit him so hard? Like he didn't like just barely touch him. He's like that was a straight up baptism. Everybody out there was like, oh, and then the rest of the players
palmed his face. It was crazy.
He caught him. He caught him exactly where he should have. So I mean, I had to make sure that I got that off because first off it was hilarious to me. It was funny to me.
He dribbled his face like a basketball. Like as big as his hand was, like it just eclipsed his face.
And the assistant coach ain't do nothing. He was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know how bad it is when somebody slap you so hard that you don't know what to do no more. Like I said, wow. He was like, I guess I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like I don't know. To me, that was hilarious because again. Because I think the other part of this though is the racial component. That's what took Juwan because he was like, "Bro, who the fuck is? Why are you touching me?" You know what I'm saying? And at that point, it's like, "Bro, if you don't get your guy, yeah." And that. Please tell me y'all saw that video of the guy. Where were they at? South Carolina? I don't know where they were, but there's a video of this guy that's in a restaurant. It's a black guy. He's in a restaurant. And some older white guy gets up and calls him the N-word, and
I saw that one.
Slapped him into the floor. And I was like, dang, boy, he smacked him for every ancestor we got. That was it. Like he smacked him 12 to 15 times. Old buddy hit his head on the floor. He got up and he was about to go back over there and slap him again. And I was like, good God. If you ain't seen, I definitely should have played that one. That crap was crazy.
I heard that's how Michael Jordan did Steve Kerr in practice one time.
Oh my God.
But you know, that's the GOAT, so I guess it's not wrong for him.
He is the GOAT. I'm glad you acknowledged that. So you know,
listen, we ain't gonna talk about how LeBron like gave that dude a concussion, had him gushing blood.
Dang,
you don't remember that?
He didn't even mean to hit that dude.
It don't matter. He smacked the fire out of him.
I didn't know you could hit somebody, like slap them. So just
he
like an open palm slap, and he gave him a concussion.
Like that dude had blood gushing, turned him into a wild, crazy beast. He was gonna beat the snot out of him.
That was that WCW blood. That was that ketchup pack.
Whatever.
Oh, get out of here. Oh my God.
He would have killed LeBron. LeBron knew. That's why he stayed away. Everywhere he went, LeBron just moved to the other side. He just sidestepped. He was like, nope.
LeBron want fake smoke. I don't think LeBron want no smoke out on that court with nobody, man.
He ain't trying to
Especially
fight. He
not
want to play
nobody that's
basketball,
like.
man. LeBron ain't trying to fight nobody. He want to play
He
basketball.
stop slapping people, then, man.
He slapped somebody apparently.
Stop slapping people, man.
I'm
just joking, LeBron. If you ever watch this, man, but you did slap him.
I'm not.
You did slap him.
I'm not. I respect the crap out of you, though. I mean, you know.
You did slap him, bro.
BJ, you stupid. All right, so I had to get that off before we got into our list. So the ladies, Laurie and Sarah, chose what we were doing this week. I think it's a dope topic because when they first said it, I was like, okay, and my mind was working in a specific direction for apocalyptic movies. Like I was thinking of stuff like 2012. What's another like natural disaster movie? I was thinking
like we should have been a little more specific because there's like apocalyptic, then there's post-apocalyptic.
Well, those go together for this list.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, but
that's okay. This is your first time.
No,
everybody
I
gets
was fine with it because it was a site. Don't act like I didn't take what we were talking about back and be like, yo, what do y'all think about this? Come on, man. So, but I think the way that we did the list made it way more interesting because like we started naming some of the movies that qualify technically. I was like, man, this is gonna be an insane list to try to narrow down, and it really was. Like I didn't even finish mine until literally right before I got ready to start the live. So
this is the first time I made one list. I made my list on, I want to say Sunday, and I have not changed it since then. So
impressive!
Wow.
Especially
first time. I'm worried.
I don't know what you got on your list.
I'm worried because that's stream of thought right there.
I actually changed my list last night because I had a discussion with some people here because the apocalypse is like that's a really wide topic, like Juwan was saying. And the thing is, so what we narrowed it down to is like either the end of civilization happens or is in progress or has happened.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it.
It can't just be a threat to the end of civilization because then that's almost every movie.
Yeah.
Like then Aladdin is an apocalypse movie. Because literally, like if Jafar stays the genie, like that's it, you're fucked. The whole world is done. End of civilization. So I feel like this is my thinking is it has to be the end of civilization happens or is in progress or has already happened.
I like that. I'm good with that.
It's like a situation where like the path cannot be stopped. Things are going to be severely messed up, even if the driving force is thwarted halfway through. You know, like it's still
I'm good with
apocalypse.
Let me make sure all my movies fit that criteria.
Oh boy, see.
I think mine still fits.
Mine fits. I'm good.
You good?
Right. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, Rock. Are yours good for that?
I think I got one that's off, but we'll discuss it. But I'm not going first this week.
When last time you went first, though?
Huh?
When last time you went first?
I think she went first last time.
First once.
Yeah, I think she did. All right.
I did.
Who wants to go first? I think I went first last week.
No, I went first last week.
I'll go first
because I missed the week before, so that's why I went first.
I'll go first. I mean, don't we usually let the guests go first, though?
We usually
do. Lori,
so, ladies,
Sarah, do y'all want to? Either one of y'all want to go first?
Well, it was Sarah's idea.
I'll go first. So I can go first.
Okay.
So my top 5 are Independence Day, number 1. And that's better be number 1 on every. We gotta do 5 to 1. Okay.
5 to 1.
All the tension is gone now.
Okay, so
not really.
The Day After Tomorrow is my number 5, and I will defend that because I know it's kind of a shit movie, but I have my reasons.
Hey, I like Day After Tomorrow, man.
Number 4, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, and I will explain that movie because I feel like that's probably one that not a lot of people have seen. Number 3 is Interstellar. Number 2, well, I'm like backwards here. Number 2 is I Am Legend, and number 1 is Independence Day. And if you need like a quick run through of what Pride and Prejudice and Zombies is, I will give that to you if you need it. So, because it's like
I know what it
fucking love
is,
that
but
movie.
I didn't.
I love that movie.
I know what it is. I just never saw the end of it.
You never saw the end? Oh,
No.
I have not seen it. Nor, I mean, you're gonna have to convince me as to why I should, because
there's zombies in it.
I mean,
I love better zombie movies.
Though. I love some zombie movies, but I'm gonna get into that in a minute.
All right, well, yeah, we won't do. Yeah, we got 6 people today.
Yeah, let's get everybody's list out, and then we'll go back through them. And I'll make sure everybody's Sarah, make sure you put your list in the private chat if you don't mind. So
yes.
So at the end of the show, I can go ahead and put the poll up before we close out.
We need an appropriate amount of time to ridicule Danny's list.
Dang, how you going on my man's like that, bruh? Jesus Christ. Who wants to go second? You know what? I'll go second. It's cool. I will go second, and I don't remember what place I went last week. I'm gonna relieve the pressure for Laurie and Rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna step in the gap. You know what I mean? All right, bet. Number 5, I Am Legend. Oh, I just hit something on my.
Am I the only one that didn't like that movie?
Probably.
You didn't like it? Is it because
and that was a hard one for me?
The dog dies.
That was hard.
Doesn't like those movies.
What'd you say?
Number 4, A Quiet Place. Number 3. Hold on, I'm just typing it out at the same time. Number 3, War for Planet of the Apes. Number 2, Mad Max Fury Road. Yes. And number 1, The Matrix. That is my top 5, and that was very hard, especially that 5th spot. That was very hard for me to come to. Did you
actually like Mad Max Fury Road?
I definitely liked it. I will get into it in a little while.
Danny, I'm with you, man.
I definitely liked it because I watched it. So there were times before that I tried. So all right, for those that are not aware, I'll say this and then we'll get to the next person. For those that are not aware, like my son, y'all know my son has special needs. So like my sleeping schedule is weird. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I'll start watching a movie and it'll be like Danny was just picking on me earlier, but like it could be like 9 o'clock. And I'll be, and that's normally a great time to start watching a movie. And I'll be like, and I wake up and it's 1. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes I'm just start watching the movie at the wrong time. So I've tried to watch it before falling asleep. Last night I watched it early. I mean, yesterday I watched it early. I think I watched it like 4 something, and I was able to finish the whole movie. That movie, for an action movie, especially, it's hard to beat that. For an action movie, and it also happens to be Apocalypse. So I mean, it's hard to overcome that movie for already how good of an action movie it is. Then you add in Apocalypse.
So you saw it for the first time all the way through yesterday.
Yeah,
and it made your number 2.
Yeah,
I said the same. I was thinking the same thing, dude.
Is it not possible to do that?
He be going through like the top 10. He be going through Watch Mojo's top 10 list, and then he be like, "I'm gonna check this movie out. I'm gonna check this movie out, and then watch it."
If it's a movie, so if it's a movie that I haven't seen, like when we did Westerns last week, right? I've seen Unforgiven before, but if you go through like people's like top 10, top 20 Westerns list, it's in a whole bunch of people's lists. So I was like, I know I've seen this movie before, but let me watch it again just to make sure I'm not just being biased to these other.
I just feel like it's a really thin movie.
What is?
Like
it has some good characters. It has some great characters in it, but I
mean, they are okay to me. It's just like there's not much to the movie. Like they're great visual effects and stuff like that, and they're great action sequences. The reason just one long chase.
The reason I put it at number 2 is because of
Am I wrong?
So okay,
it's literally one long car chase.
But I mean, it's okay. So
let me go. Let me go ahead and go, Morgan.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll get into it, but let me get Danny's list.
This is the list, okay?
Okay.
Shut up.
Number 5, I Am Legend. Okay. I don't know why anybody would not like that movie. Number 4, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's the one. Number 3, that's the one where Caesar spoke for the first time.
That's okay.
Continue.
Because at the end of that is when the virus spread, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Please continue.
Number 3, Terminator 2, Skynet. Number 2 is Book of Eli. Y'all know how I feel about the Book of Eli.
It's my favorite.
And, number 1 is A Quiet Place.
Have you even seen A Quiet Place? You're scary behind.
I've seen it several times.
I was
thinking about that,
Morgan. I was thinking the same thing too.
I don't believe you at all.
I don't believe
how
you.
good.
Why?
How good does this for me to sit and watch it several times? I've seen it several times.
I'm shocked that you
I don't
watched
believe
it, man. I really am shocked that you've seen
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
It's scary. And for me, I know I'm dying in that apocalypse. In that type of apocalypse, I know I'm dying. I can't be quiet sleeping. Like, it's a wrap for me.
You better find that little bunker thing and jump in there. That's what you better do. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Before we start arguing. Who said that, Rob?
I'll go.
All right.
Yeah, so number 5, Mad Max Fury Road. I actually went to the movies to see it. Really enjoyed it. 4, Independence Day. 3, I Am Legend. 2 is my favorite book, The Book of Eli. But number 1, I don't think it's going to be on anybody's list. And I had to double check to see if it was apocalyptic, but The Fifth Element.
Okay.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
I Am Legend is number.
I would like when we get to the point for you to explain why it's an apocalyptic movie, because I am trying to think of why and I'm not coming up with anything right now. So I'm definitely down to hear the explanation though, because I'm willing to change my mind on that.
I don't think Independence Day is either, but
how?
Yeah, Independence Day is definitely
New York
apocalyptic.
City.
What are you talking
Technically, it's not because the civilization doesn't end. They save it.
Yeah,
They stop it from ending.
Like
But
entire
it's
cities
severely
are
altered. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this civilization is altered severely in the way like that it's irreparable. And if you watch Independence Day Resurgence, which I know trash, however, it was a completely trash movie, and I was so disappointed in it. Let me tell you, because it is not just my favorite apocalypse movie; it is my favorite movie. Period. But Resurgence, not Resurgence, Independence Day.
Sarah, I swear I was about to fly out there because
No, not Resurgence. No, Resurgence was absolute trash. So I was super disappointed that it was, because I was like, I don't know how they're gonna make this not suck, but it sucked so much worse than I thought it was gonna. But the point is that it shows what happens. It explains what happens after the events of Independence Day, 20 years after, I believe, and how severely altered our the civilization has become, and that the war hasn't actually even ended because they spent many years killing these aliens that didn't die in the initial crashes. That when the big city destroyer ships crashed down, not every alien died, and so there's lots of trauma, lots of continued destruction of smaller pockets of civilizations everywhere that these city destroyers crashed down. So
sounds like you did like Resurgence. It sounds like you enjoyed it.
I like that I like that I got some explanation of what happened after. But
well, I mean, the
like,
whole first movie, they were like roving through the first movie, like wiping out major cities. Like
but
the world's not going to go back to normal.
Okay.
Exactly. Like they destroyed.
I agree.
Yeah, they destroyed.
They wiped out New York
by that point. They got to like the secondary cities like Chicago and Dallas and shit got destroyed because they had already wiped out the major cities. You know, London, Paris, New York. Like they got rid of.
They set off a nuke in Chicago. You don't remember that part? I just watched Independence Day like a couple weeks ago. I think they set off a nuke It was one of
definitely
the
nuked,
major
but I thought
cities.
they nuked. I thought the nuke they set off. They
He
tried to
could've
blow
turned
up
around both of them.
the destroyer. And
Yeah, they tried to blow it up
they-
and they didn't do
with
nothing.
the nuke,
Smart,
and they
BJ.
did. I thought that was over like Texas or something. No, I was unclear. I guess I'm
That was
unclear
a
now
bad
on, like,
choice for Will
where it
Smith for
was.
either of those movies, by the way.
Yeah, he should have turned both of them down.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
should have turned them both down. Just walk away.
Yeah,
Will.
well,
Walk away.
Suicide Squad was
He
not
knew
that bad,
he knew
bro.
research.
Yes, it
Like
was.
we all
it was very.
we all
It
knew
was bad. That was
we
a
all
terrible
knew
movie.
Resurgence was going to be a dud.
God awful movie.
We all
Yeah,
knew
the first
Resurgence
one
was going to be crap, but like we had hopes for Suicide Squad.
Suicide
Like,
Squad was bad.
but
Yeah.
it was
Start to
but like,
finish.
but we had hopes for it before we saw it. Like
No
we thought
redeeming
it was
value.
going to be good. And
Zero.
Resurgence, like there was just no way it was going to be good. Like Resurgence
Morgan, you're
was
on your own
definitely
here,
going to be worse.
You're on your
Suicide
own.
Squad had a good soundtrack.
There you go. There you go, Rob.
I mean, there are a lot of movies that had a
I'm
good
in the
soundtrack.
minority that I didn't hate Suicide Squad, but I definitely agree that it had lots of problems.
See, I'm not alone, hater.
But I don't
Laurie.
hate it though.
Laurie, your list, and then Juwan.
All right. Number 5, Wall-E.
Okay.
Aw.
Number 4 would be Don't Look Up.
I really okay. I
Mhm.
really thought about that one.
Number 3, I Am Legend. Number 2, I put Interstellar. And then number 1, I put The Matrix.
All right.
The Matrix.
All right.
What is that about?
That's the joint on Netflix. It just came out at the end of last year.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
is Don't Look Up
yeah,
apocalyptic? But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I legit very hard thought
I
about
couldn't
that
even
one because I love the movie because of the only reason. So I've thought about that one early and I put it on my notes list. And the reason I took it off was because when I looked it up to see what genres they put it under, they didn't put apocalypse up there, and I was like, well, I don't want nobody to say it's not, even though I could have defended it, but I was just like, it's cool. I'll just take
I
that
mean,
off.
I like it, but I think
Did the comet actually hit the Earth in the movie?
no. That's why we have it on. No, sorry, my sarcastic part came in. Yes,
Oh,
the
Yeah, it definitely.
sorry, that was
Did you
that
watch
was a
it?
reflex. That was a reflex.
I haven't seen it. I just couldn't I didn't like it, so I couldn't finish it. That's all I know. I didn't enjoy
Oh,
it.
you should watch it. But the ending is the best part.
But you like I Am Legend.
I Am Legend is a great movie.
I Am Legend's good, bro. What are you talking about? It's like
Okay.
4 people got I Am Legend on their list right now.
It's strayed very, very
Hey,
far
listen,
from
no,
the source material.
I
though,
didn't say
let
it
me
was
tell you.
good.
I didn't even care about the source
It's
material.
not.
It just wasn't a great movie. I wouldn't call it a great movie. I was relatively entertained.
Shut up. You about to have freaking Ninja Turtles or something on your list. Go ahead.
Oh, you're okay. You ready for my list? All right, cool.
Yes.
He
Yes,
has
I'm
All right.
fun on there.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Number 5, Children of Men.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh
I
man,
forgot
that
about
was one of the
movie.
ones
Oh, I
that I
was
was
gonna
like,
have Ninja Turtles on it. Oh. Shut up, Morgan.
Yeah, no.
Number
never sounded like that ever.
That's a great
Number-
movie.
that's
I forgot
exactly what
about
you
it.
said.
it's tricky.
Number
tricky
4.
because it's
Number 4, A Quiet Place. Number 3, The Matrix. Number 2, Independence Day. Nobody has this on their list, but it's a fantastic movie. 12 Monkeys.
Oh yeah, okay.
I haven't seen it.
Fantastic.
Shit. Children of Men though, that's a fucking great pick, and I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, it's the apocalypse in it happens happens very sneaky, like the pre like, so you don't even realize that it is. And it was on my list, but the reason that it wasn't it wasn't a dramatic apocalypse, so I guess I was like, that's why
But it
I
was
didn't
really
put it on
bleak.
the thing. Yes,
It was
very
very
bleak. Oh my god. And it is like I haven't been able to watch that movie very many times because it's just so depressing.
You know, there's a really talk about depressing apocalyptic movies. Have you ever heard of The Road
Yes.
with Viggo Mortensen?
Yep.
That
Oh my
is
god.
depressing.
And it's like that's the one where his like his whole existence, like the whole point for him to continue on is so that his son lives, right? And like nothing
that
means
one-
anything. Oh yeah.
I'm at the
I got a
watch
question
that
for
one.
y'all.
Go ahead, Danny.
Y'all consider I Am Legend a zombie movie or a vampire movie?
Zombie.
Zombie.
It's a zombie movie, right? So yeah.
No,
think it's
I
somewhere in
don't consider
between.
it either. I don't think it's either because at the end, Will Smith finds a cure, which means that they're diseased. That it's a disease, but it's fixable, so it's neither.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Oh, yeah, because zombies were dead and they come back to
Dead,
life.
yeah.
I mean, they weren't really like eating people. I don't think they ever saw them eat.
No, they
anybody,
said that.
did
Yeah,
they?
no, you don't see it. But Will Smith he says point blank, they killed and ate. I'm pretty sure he does that.
I
Will
don't
Smith
remember
says they killed, but I mean they definitely killed, and we don't.
No, they
really
definitely
know,
killed.
yeah,
But
but
I don't know if we ever.
maybe they don't say that he ate. That they ate.
No,
I don't know if they've ever. I mean,
remember
he
the
bit the dog, but
remember the scene where the dog ran into that dark,
right? They bit the dog.
That dark building. No, but like they were eating somebody. There was somebody eating inside of there.
Something.
When? No, remember? Because it was dark in there and they were sleeping. They were just standing in the corner like.
No, he was in there longer than that. They were eating. They were eating somebody.
I just remember them like standing in the corner, like doing the Wakanda thing.
Yeah,
like,
they were doing the Wakanda thing.
I thought they were sleeping too. That was my
That's what I
thought.
thought.
Y'all can
I have to go back and check that because I think
I don't think they knew what they wanted them to be.
Y'all can make me. But I like the reason. So my number 5 spot was really hard for me to parse out because the reason I put I Am Legend there over Book of Eli, I had so the ones I was kicking around with Book of Eli.
I didn't like Book of Eli either, by the way.
Shut up, Juwan. You
kick
I didn't like Book of Eli. I mean, you can kick me out or you want.
I don't hate
like
Book of Eli, but I think
I thought
that
it was
I'm
okay.
like prejudiced against it because of the Bible stuff, like the fact that the Bible was the book, and I'm just like,
I don't care
the
about
Bible
that.
is just.
It just.
They thought about using it. Denzel talks about them thinking about using. I can't remember what the other book was, because their overall point was that they wanted it to be some religious book.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what made them settle on the Bible, but there was another book that was in debate for that.
Western society.
I thought it was. Yeah.
I don't hate the movie. I don't hate
it. I just
definitely not my top 5 though, for sure.
It was hard for me
I love it a lot.
Between I Am Legend, Book of Eli, 28 Weeks Later.
I almost had that on my list.
And World War Z. Because I was thinking about, all right, which one of these? I thought World War Z's resolution was awesome. And there was some very, very, those zombies, oh my God. That's too much. When them muds started running up over the wall in Jerusalem, I was done. I was like, yo, what could possibly be worse than really fast zombies that literally climb over each other to come and kill you? Like until I saw the What If episodes on Marvel, and literally
Superpower
Strange
zombies.
Yeah. Dr. Strange was literally opening portals to try to eat people. That's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I would literally kill myself.
An extreme, like the whole world of creativity has a very, very loose, broad definition of what a zombie is, because most definitions of zombies would suggest that they would no longer have the intelligence necessary to do something like open portals and perform sorcery. So like that What If episode is like,
If I'm gonna go with running zombies, it's gonna be Dawn of the Dead. Zack Snyder.
Well, I have a question for you, Morgan, too. Why 28 weeks later and not 28 days later?
Okay, so for me, one, I just like 28 weeks more than I did 28 days. But I think one of the reasons I literally went back to, like, right before the show started, one of my favorite scenes or most horror. I often put myself into the scenes in movies, and in 28 Weeks Later, that opening scene when he jumps out of that window and falls to the ground, and then like he's kind of like getting ready to start getting up or whatever, and he looks back and the zombies go running past that little entryway. My body, I left my own body and I was just watching the movie. But then he's running, and when he starts running down the field and he's like trying to get away. There's zombies behind him, and then over the hill, he's running this way, and the hill is filled with zombies coming this way behind him. I would have needed my ancestors to carry me to that boat because I would have been so scared. Oh my God. That scene. So the reason I had 28 weeks over 28 days is because that scene and the other scene are two of the scariest scenes in like scary movies to me to have been in. That's one of them. The other one is when they're when the dad is on a rampage and they're trying to go to the other side of that bridge, but they're blocking them from doing it. And the dad is standing in the back, but nobody else sees him but his kids. And then he just starts like, but there's only like this one strobing light that's going through or whatever. And then he bites somebody in the back. So now like you have no idea if the person's beside you right now is a zombie. I would rather fall into a tornado backwards.
So it's more like the extreme emotional response that you got from the scenes versus the actual content. Because I'm with
it horrifies
you there.
me.
Yes, I can.
That's a good movie too, Danny. I like that movie. The ending of that movie is crazy.
What she was talking about,
both of those movies fucked up.
The zombie with the intelligence, that's my favorite. The Girl with All the Gifts is my favorite intelligent zombie movie. Because the way that
I haven't seen
it ended.
Oh man,
the way it ended was like, man. I was like, bruh, hey, it's a wrap. But
I might go watch that tonight.
That's
I like it a lot.
You ain't seen that one. You gotta go watch that one.
Yeah.
But no, my Dawn of the Dead, man, when that was like one of the first ones to really have like the running, like sprinting zombies. Yeah. And you just stuck in the mall, dude. You just can't go nowhere.
I like Shaun of the Dead better.
I like Shaun. I don't like it.
I love Shaun of the Dead, but I don't think that I consider it an apocalypse because they things get screwed up really badly. But then when they figure it out, they go back to the way things were.
He had my dude as a pet at the end. He had him chained up in the in their playing video game.
He really did. That was his puppy.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that I love the movie. I love the movie, but I'm not the reason it's not on my list is because I'm not sure that I call it an apocalypse.
I mean, I would almost put Train to Busan on there.
That would have been a good one. That movie
put it on there. It was this close.
I still haven't seen it.
I slept on that movie. I was super sleep on that
dude,
movie.
You gotta watch that movie, man.
Yeah.
I know you don't like scary movies, but you gotta watch that movie.
I keep hearing it's so good. I'm definitely gonna try to check it out.
My wife don't like scary movies, and she watched that.
Yeah,
really I'm gonna watch it during like the first thing in the morning someday. So I got the rest of the day to watch Disney movies.
Daddy, man, Daddy, you are a veteran. This should be nothing for you, dude.
Literally been shot at.
Hey, bullets are easy,
and zombies are fake.
I ain't messing. They're not faking here though.
That's a problem.
This is the most dangerous part.
That's a problem, sir. You have a better chance of getting shot than getting bit by a zombie.
I would welcome it. I would welcome getting shot over getting bit by a zombie, sir. I would welcome it.
It's 2022. You just never know. Like, please don't jinx us. Please.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, and
I was gonna say there ain't enough jinx in the world. If we gonna get there, we gonna get there. We are, and that's okay because we all just need to hang out with Morgan because Morgan gonna be the first one dead, and we got time to run.
I'm not dying in no zombie movie. You got me.
Morgan be the first one, dude.
You lie. The devil is a lie.
First one.
I'm official with these bats.
I know. I've never actually tried to race Morgan, but I'm pretty sure he could beat me because I am slow.
Now Morgan gonna be the dude that go check on the sound that we just heard. What's that? Hey, let's go check.
See, that's what I'm saying. You keep mischaracterizing my curiosity, and it's really not fair. But it's all good.
We gonna be a group of us, and we hear a can fall in the background. What's that? I'm gonna be like, Morgan, you should go check. He'd be like, okay, and then we.
I'm with Morgan. I would check with the noise. And you want to know? I would check the noise, and I would check the noise because I have cats, and there's always something that they're knocking on the floor, and I'm just like, fucking cats, and I have to go pick it up. So I would check the noise, not even considering that it would be a monster coming to get me.
Now, are you that person that's like, man, I gotta save my cat, if zombies is around us.
I'm saving my dog. I don't care what nobody
I don't know. I mean,
I see you,
I
Rock.
feel like I
see you.
could turn
My
into
Rock
a
gonna
zombie
die.
murdering machine if my cats were under threat, but I'm also in a
My
very
dog's-
a pretty tall building. Like this building's pretty tall. I feel like I
Look,
could barricade it.
I'm Usain
sufficiently.
Bolt. I don't.
My dog's not gonna make it. I promise you.
Gonna turn into-
If my dog does not
Sarah
defend
Wood.
itself,
I
don't
the
know what to
only
tell you,
people
bro.
I care. Listen, I'm gonna carry my son because he's the only
Yeah,
one that I can
my
carry.
kid.
I don't
I'm
have any
carrying my
kids though.
son.
I don't have any kids to worry about.
That's
So
I only got one child that can't defend themselves. Olivia, I'm throwing her on the shoulder. DJ, Kendra, and Stephanie, y'all better figure it out.
For real.
I can't
For
do
real.
nothing for you.
I
Look,
mean, it's
listen.
not like you're saying you're gonna push them in front of the zombies so that you can
No,
get away
Yeah,
first.
if you
You're just
exactly.
saying
got
if
a
you
fair
guys
shot.
can't keep up.
If you trip and
You
fall,
got a fair shot, guys. You look like I'm gonna defend like my baby girl. She just went on her first date. She obviously got to, she got to
Hey,
run
she
for
got a
herself.
boyfriend.
Sorry.
She got a
Yeah, what do you
boyfriend
want me
take
to
care
do?
of her.
Yeah, what do you want me to do, baby? Like, I love you. I'm gonna do everything I can, but I mean, like you know your brother's right here. I literally have to carry him. So, I don't know what you want me to do.
I got my son right here, and I'm sprinting. I'm not even looking back. I'm not checking to see if
I'm
anybody
holding the
okay.
baby like a football.
You just running around like this. My son too big to carry like that. I got to put him on my shoulder.
Oh, before I forget, I just saw the comment about the Fifth Element. So I had to look it up because I wasn't sure myself. But something I just found online, it says a cab driver in the 23rd century finds himself battling an evil force during an apocalyptic war as he tries to secure a mysterious fifth element. So
There it is.
Where the hell is the war? There's no war. There's an almost war, but there's no war. What?
Well, he's
who
gonna blow
wrote
up
that?
the planet, right?
Yeah, no, the darkness, the darkness. I forget
Yeah.
what they call it because they call it many things, but it's just this evil ball of blackness that's coming towards the earth and is going to just blow up the whole thing, just nuke it. Unless, but that's a pre-apocalypse. That's not an actual
Yeah.
apocalypse.
That's what I'm saying. I think
that's why
I think we actually either have to see the apocalypse happen, or it has happened, and like the people are living in the apocalypse.
Yeah, we either have to be witnessing like an apocalypse in progress, or like the apocalypse has happened. But yeah, something has civilization has to have been severely crippled and altered in order for me to consider it an apocalypse.
But that's
Yeah,
why
that's why I
I
had to
like
look it
my
up.
question. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Roxy.
I was gonna say that's why I had to look it up because I wasn't too sure. Like it's like right at the line for it.
Yeah. I mean, because they do destroy an entire civilization. It's just not Earth. Those not Mandalorians, Manda something. But it's the ones that look like giant coins walking around. The peaceful. They destroy all of them. What the hell are those called?
So that was my question about Don't Look Up, but because Don't Look Up, like it's apocalyptic, but like
it's pre-apocalyptic.
It's like the whole Earth is gone. So this is like nothing. Like most apocalyptic movies. Yeah, it's more to me. That's why I didn't put like The Day After Tomorrow, because that felt more like a disaster movie for me. I don't know. It was hard to figure.
That's fair.
That's why I like the Planet of the Apes movies to me.
Yeah.
Especially
That's
like
not
the Rise
really
of the Planet of the
apocalyptic
Apes.
either, though, because you don't even.
You see the virus spread, like the entire world changes because of.
Yeah, but that's like at literally the absolute end of the movie.
Hey.
So would you consider because another one on my list that just came out recently that I thought the movie was trash, but it had Amari Hardwick, but Army of the Dead, because it was only in Vegas.
I like that joint.
If
but yeah, no, that's
one place. Then yeah, not an apocalypse.
Yeah, that was like
the whole world has to be destroyed.
Yeah. That's why some of them didn't.
Would anybody really miss Vegas?
I was gonna put us on
they
my
can
list.
take Texas.
I know more Danny like my whole book it takes place there. I kind of would need that,
I was gonna put us on my list.
Apocalyptic Vegas would be good.
The reason I didn't is because it technically only takes place in America, and as far as we know, you know what I mean. Otherwise, I would put it on the list.
You said us?
Yeah.
I almost put I don't know. It's an older movie. You guys might not have heard of it. Dark City.
Definitely haven't heard of it.
It's like I
Sounds
don't want
familiar.
to ruin the there's a twist in the movie, but I don't
We're
want
not gonna watch it anyway.
Well,
It's a good movie. You don't watch any old movie, man. That's why I don't trust your judgment in film.
Hey, listen, man. You know,
Is that the
I
one?
watched-
It's got the British guy who's always playing an asshole in all the movies.
It's
Is
a
it
sci-fi
over?
movie.
The guy,
It's-
he's
it's
the same one that he's in the night movie with shit, what is his name? Rufus
Yes.
Rufus
somebody
Seward?
named Rufus.
Yes, the dude
Rufus, yes.
that was in A Knight's
And
Tale.
Kiefer's in it too.
Yep.
So here's a question for you guys then. Is Equilibrium an apocalyptic movie?
Ooh.
Is that
What's the movie?
Ooh.
Equilibrium.
Mm.
Yes,
Because
Dark City
civilization has
with
been
Jennifer
like
Connelly
completely
and
altered.
I don't remember it well enough.
Yeah,
I've never
would say
seen
so.
Equilibrium.
Never seen it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you guys should
My
first
mom used to
see it.
rave
It's fucking
about it
great.
though. My
It's
mom used
solid.
to rave
Definitely
about
solid.
it. She used to love it.
Well, yeah. I guess because what happened? What event happened? Because like it could be just saying that that's the evolution of civilization, but also like kind of a
Well,
dictatorship
World War III
thing.
happened. World War III happens. That's what.
All
breaks
right.
everything.
You know what almost
We're
made
talking
my
about
list?
am I thinking of the right movie? Like they suppress emotions with a pill.
Yeah, and then there's
Christian
gun
Bale.
katas. There's gun martial arts in it. It's so
Oh,
fucking
God,
great. You guys
that-
need to see it if you haven't seen it.
I
Oh,
almost
God.
put Edge
Yes.
of Tomorrow on my list.
What is it?
Edge
Ooh,
of
Edge of
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
but it
Oh,
doesn't
no.
really fit.
No, I think
It
that
was-
one's an apocalypse.
I don't think
I
it would
think so
count.
I
too,
don't-
but I just didn't
Doesn't
like
it?
I don't think it really fits though, because remember they go back in time to stop it.
Oh shit.
No, Terminator. They go back in time to stop it.
That's
They don't
why I
go
didn't
back
put
in- they
Terminator 2
exactly
don't
go
really
back
count in
in
my
time
opinion.
because
Yeah, Terminator.
they didn't do it on purpose.
Terminator
kind
2
of on
don't
the edge,
count.
too, because
Why
they're
does
preventing
Terminator
it.
count?
They're preventing
Terminator
it from
2
happening.
because there is no apocalypse. They talk about
They
the
didn't
apocalypse,
prevent,
but there is
but
no
they
apocalypse.
didn't prevent it from happening. It happened. That's
in
why
that
they went back in
movie,
time.
in
Yeah,
that
that's true.
movie, they prevented it. Now, if you want to count what happens in sequels, I mean, sure, I guess, but in the movie Terminator 2,
But
there
it
is
had
no
to have
apocalypse.
happened. In Terminator, it had to have happened in order for them to go back in time, right? So it happened.
Not by
so
the
that they
rules
could
of that
go back and
movie.
prevent it.
And Edge of Tomorrow too. They go back in time, but the war has already been going on, and the world is fucked anyway. So the fact that they go back in time, he was unwillingly going back in time, and we don't know how many times he did it, but he was only going back in a day, and the world was already well into the throes of this huge war too. So
Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, it was too much like it was too much like gray area in me trying to figure out, like,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, where it fits. So that's why I didn't put it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't put Terminator 2 either, because it was like, well, technically, it's not really post-apocalyptic or even pre-apocalyptic. It's just
it's one of two. Edge of Tomorrow is one of two movies that I didn't put on the list specifically because I just fucking can't stand Tom Cruise. Like, I love the movies, but I just can't
Tom.
stand Tom Cruise.
what's wrong with Tom?
Man,
I love.
I think it
wrong
was
with
back
Tom
in like
Cruise?
the early noughts, and I just got sick of hearing him and sick of seeing his stupid face. And
I can't think
my
of
man
it.
broke- my
and
man
so
broke
like
his
now I'm
leg.
like I
Cruise has
love
done
War
that I
of the
didn't
World, and
like.
he's such an amazing
Except for-
actor
what's-
too. And
what's
so I
that
try to
movie?
separate
Night and Day?
my dislike of him as a person from my my
Oh,
love of
I
his
understand
like
that.
his craft, because he's so good at it.
Hey,
He's such a good
I'm
actor.
gonna let y'all finish. But A Quiet Place is the best apocalypse movie of all time. Y'all have a good night.
Shut up. A Quiet Place is great.
They ain't never seen.
A Quiet Place is great. There's no question about that.
He,
But
then he read the Wikipedia of it.
you definitely didn't
He
watch
didn't
it.
watch it.
Definitely did not watch it. I don't
Watch
blame
it.
I ran into this when I was having the discussion with people last night, but I think there's kind of a fence where like war movies are like, because like War of the Worlds, for example, is a war movie, and so is Edge of Tomorrow. So like if you just replace all the aliens in Edge of Tomorrow with Nazis, like is it really an apocalypse movie?
But that could be said about like Independence Day and
Yeah. Yeah.
what are the other ones? Like any of them that have some event that is a war that triggers, because the aliens in Independence Day could have also been Nazis. Very, very technologically advanced Nazis, but
the only thing about Independence Day, it was so widespread and so like thorough.
Yeah, because
I mean, they were wiping out cities.
Yeah, and they
multiple
made
cities at a time.
Like they were the way that they had it, like it was just a regular old day, nothing special was happening, and then all of a sudden, boom, everybody's dead. That was like, so I was like, holy shit, that could like really happen. I can put myself in this movie without having to suspend my disbelief too much. It's such a good premise for that, which is probably the reason. That's why I also like The Day After Tomorrow. Was like it's just a regular day, and then boom, we're dead.
I like Day After Tomorrow, but the one part of the movie that kind of messes it all up is when they're running from the freezing ice.
I was like, I know what you're gonna say. It's gonna be either
like,
when they.
I don't think ice works like that.
And like the fucking wolves show up too. Like, why did we need wolves?
I don't have a problem with the wolves.
I thought the wolves were extremely unnecessary. I didn't hate the wolves, but I thought they were very unnecessary. And I also thought, I was like the ice, the way that they were talking about, like the ice is the tunnel, and I was like, yeah, but I don't think that's the way that ice works. So
yeah, ice doesn't move as a wave. It just
and then the scene where they're trekking, they're trying to trek to New York through the storm, and then dude falls through the glass ceiling of the the mall, and I was just like, I know what happened to him when he landed, even though we didn't see it, and that was just like, ugh, just grossed me out so much that I was like, I didn't need that scene. I didn't need that scene to tell me that this was a serious situation. I already knew, and I didn't need to be grossed out like that.
One of the ones that I considered too, but put aside was 12 Cloverfield Lane. Yeah. But like I think which I love that movie, but I think it's like the apocalypse hasn't quite happened. Like the aliens landed and we're fighting them, and like we don't know who's gonna win, so does that count? So I took it out.
I can't remember if they do. How much damage do they do to the world? Like, could you say
they never really show?
But I mean, honestly, just the fact that aliens land on the planet, that's just that we have that confirmation of aliens, is to me almost apocalyptic, in if you go by the definition that it severely alters the way that it severely and quickly alters the way that our society functions, because the confirmation that aliens exist would be pretty fucking altering, I think. So
it'd be pretty awesome actually, but I think people would be more afraid than anything else. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I loved about this week's topic, is because like I said, when y'all first said it, I was like, okay, I can, I started trying to get my head around it, and then when we started talking through like what movies would qualify, Ro just asked a magical question that we all laughed about, but it's a legitimate question, because I was like, hey, y'all keep playing, I'll mess around and put Endgame and Infinity War on here. Because I mean the snap, but then Sarah brought up a good point, because she was like, it didn't necessarily like end civilization, it just like
removed half the people from it.
Yeah, the thing about the snap is that like they could have made it like apocalyptic, but they were just like, well, half of everyone's gone and now everyone's sad. Like that's basically what happened.
But technically, that's kind of what would happen. I mean, though.
Yeah, you could argue that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier actually shows more apocalypse than Endgame and Infinity War, because bringing all the people back and seeing the aftermath of that was so much more violent than removing the people in the first place. Like everybody was just like, well, I mean, I guess we saw Hawkeye go rogue, but he was just one guy versus like there were huge groups of people banding together because to rebel against the all these, they implemented all these government plans and stuff to offset the severe losses of the snap. And then when all the people came back, they're like, oh, okay, well then let's put everybody back where they were originally, and that caused such a huge uproar because people for 5 years had made these places their homes. So that almost I would say is almost closer to an apocalypse than Endgame and Infinity War for that reason.
Yeah, right.
But I don't count any of them though.
I didn't put World War Z on my list because the pandemic ruined it for me.
Good point.
Because all I could think about was,
Good
okay,
point.
at the end of the movie, they send all these vaccines to people, and people just take them.
And
Like, nah.
and in the real world,
Nope.
no.
That's a great point.
Yeah, in the real
It
world,
ruined
they'd
it
be
for
like,
me.
my body, my choice.
Because like I remember watching the movie when
Think
it
of this.
first came out, and I was like, oh, okay, hey, listen, we survived. Everybody take the vaccine. And then I watched it after the pandemic. I watched it like last year.
You
again.
can't make me.
Yeah, and all I could think of was, I feel like the pandemic has proven that any movie that has the world banding together to take any type of medicine or to do anything
we're all dead. We're all dead.
It's incredibly unrealistic.
You are 100% right. And how fucking depressing is that? Oh my
Super
God.
depressing.
That's one of the reasons why.
And I apologize every time.
That's one of the reasons why Don't Look Up was such a good movie. Like, because so it was satire and you laugh clearly, but at the same time, the other side of your brain was like, oh my God, this is real though. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way that you watch Don't Look Up and couldn't be like,
and it's like when you watch shows like Walking Dead, I had somebody say, well, why are there so few people in Walking Dead? And in my mind, I'm like, that's because there's somebody who saw a zombie in real world. There'd be somebody who see a zombie, be like, I don't believe it. And then they get eaten. And then there's another zombie. And just multiply that by a few million.
You're not wrong.
Here we are.
You are definitely not wrong. But
there
would be
Javon, there would be rallies of people
fighting
protesting the existence of zombies that would get mowed over by zombies. And then
here's a better one.
Corralling themselves up and making them a
zombie.
There would be people rallying in defense of the zombies to prevent to pervert their lives.
100%. Like there'd be and then there'd be news reports. So there'd be a like KKK people zombies, and then there'd be Black Lives Matter zombies, and then there'd also be like Zombie Lives Matter zombies. Like it would be freaking ridiculous. There would be whole political factions of zombies based on our stupidity. You know what I'm saying? So
and then there's one crazy rich guy, and he wants to use the zombies for some kind of science experiment. Like he wants to mine them for resources or some shit. Like
that's real too. I mean, weren't they in the first season? They were everybody was trying to get to the CDC. And I think this pandemic has ruined that as well. I don't think any of us would go to the CDC. I think all of us would be like, will we go to the CDC? And I'd be like, do we want to though? I don't
number one, I ain't going to Atlanta. If this is a zombie outbreak, because Atlanta, listen, I love Atlanta. That's my second home. But the way that they have dealt with this pandemic shows me that if zombies broke out there, that is the absolute last place
they were
that
out
I'm going to
here.
be.
Listen, I know that
I'm going to the Midwest.
Come to the mountains. Come to my place.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely going to Laurie's, and I'm going to ride a moose, and then the zombies can't even get on me. They can't even touch me.
See, this is why Morgan's going to die first in the apocalypse, because he's the one who's going to try and ride a fucking moose.
And that
is a terrible idea, man. That's a terrible idea.
I don't want to. I didn't say I was going to ride a zombie moose. I just said I ride the moose. They're very big individuals.
You understand why people don't ride mooses?
But I have to try.
I don't think you appreciate how mean and strong they are.
I don't appreciate how mean they are.
This is why you die.
Well, I'd rather die from a moose than zombies.
Okay, that part's fair enough.
See?
Maybe you could tame the moose by feeding it zombie corpses.
Then it becomes a zombie moose.
Does it though? If it's not bitten and if it just eats, like if you just
you don't know how it works.
In The Walking Dead, do they establish if eating something that a zombie has chewed on makes you a zombie, or like eating the zombie flesh makes you a zombie?
I don't know.
It seems like it would make you get gangrenous, but
I don't know why people want to try that method.
That's a good question.
You guys can.
Well, no, it's for my moose. We're taming the moose, Javon.
Okay.
We gotta feed the moose something, man. Come on, bro.
This is why you guys will be the first to go. This is why. Listen,
you know what?
If you want to make
sure you go,
just
like, man,
so
my big brother.
You have to
Javon
take into
over there.
account
He
the fact that you want to feed the zombie. You want to feed the moose zombie meat.
And then you get like
that means you have to go
supercharged
get
zombie.
a zombie.
She didn't say that was the first option. I think she was thinking worst case scenario.
But I'm just saying that means you have to go. That implies that you have to be close enough to a zombie to get it.
Wait, forget about the zombie, the moose. Do you have ever seen a moose up close? Like I'd rather.
I don't want to.
I would be.
You just said you want to
equally
ride
as
one.
scared from
because they're high up. They're very large animals.
Dude, ride a horse.
An elephant would be.
It's not as big as a moose.
See,
I'm
you know
just
what?
trying to stay
That's all right,
safe.
Morgan. That's
Anyway,
all right. I don't know. That's literally not. That's nowhere
Kenji
near safe. That's not safe.
Kenji brought up. It seems safe to me. Kenji brought up Apocalypto, and I think somebody did bring it up.
I honestly can't remember what that movie was about.
Yeah, it's been too long since I've seen it.
Was Mel Gibson right? and the Incans or the Mayans?
I think it was the Mayans.
And someone prevents the apocalypse. It's great. It's a good movie.
It was a good movie. It's just been a long time since I've seen it.
And then it's really depressing because right at the end of the movie, the Spanish show up and you know what's going to happen next. You're like,
alrighty, man. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I finally watched Encanto. This Encanto. I should have said that better. I finally watched that this last week because I had been holding off on watching it. And that scene when the grandma is like trying to run away from them and then they're riding up on horseback, I'm like, don't blur their faces, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they never show the faces or whatever. Like, we all know what it is, but this is like, no need to push that. We're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it was just like, okay. I mean, it's a wink and a nod, I guess. But I mean, not Apocalypto. Encanto is
I still haven't seen it.
It's not. I know a lot of people love that movie. I'm not trying to tear it down. It was a good movie. It's not in my top.
It's not an apocalyptic movie,
right
though. Why would it be?
I'm just bringing it up based on she brought up the Spanish riding up, and we know what happens, and I was bringing it up in light fashion, kind of. It was a.
You would be the one to go up to the Spanish people, right? Spanish people.
Right? That you a damn. Don't do that.
Wait, what's up?
No, absolutely not.
You're too curious, right? Remember?
See, no, that's what I'm saying, bro. You why do you keep mischaracterizing this? Okay.
I'm
gonna explain it one more time.
We just finished a conversation where you say you wanted to ride a moose. All right.
Because they're very large animals.
And kind of deadly.
Have you rode a moose?
No.
That's why nobody rides moose.
No, there's no such thing as riding mooses. There's a reason for that.
Man, people ride lions.
Do they?
And crocodiles.
Yes, He-Man.
Okay. So the thing about that is that people ride a crocodile like once, just to say that they rode a crocodile. Yes. It's not a thing that we do because crocodiles make very bad pack animals.
I agree.
That would be a terrible mode of transportation.
I'm not saying that the moose is
who
the
do you
best
know that rides
idea.
lions?
I've seen it.
It's not. Yeah, He-Man.
No. I've seen it in real life.
That's a tiger, by the way.
I'm sorry.
See, shut up. See,
my fault.
Thank you for shutting them up, Laurie.
Yeah, you got me.
She definitely did.
Not that anything.
Ride a moose. Nobody rides mooses.
Why are you hating?
I don't even know what
moose?
The plural of moose. I'm not hating.
What is the plural? I was about to say moosin'.
I don't know. Meese.
Javon, do you want to know how Pride and Prejudice and Zombies ends?
Is there a moose?
Actually, sure. Because I'm probably never going to get around to watching.
Sadly, no moose.
God
it's if you've seen Pride and Prejudice, it is essentially the same story but with zombies. And at the end, Darcy and like the two different sets of like the sisters, and then the two different guys, they get married in a group ceremony, and then they turn around to walk joyfully back down the aisle and get showered with flower petals and rice and shit, and they see they see a huge contingent of zombies come running up on them, and then the movie ends. So yeah, like they managed to do nothing as far as stopping the apocalypse.
I mean,
But
it is like,
if they had I don't know what I'm about to look up. What
honestly, I don't think we survive.
I was gonna say
If zombies come out, we done.
No.
I've
no.
decided civilization is done. One zombie and we're done.
I say that we can survive a zombie apocalypse
Mm-mm.
because of science. Because if a zombie is nothing more than a nerve cluster operating a meat suit of rotting flesh, if we just wait it out in a place where they can't reach us, they're going to die. They're going to rot and be, even if their little nerve clusters are still alive and still operating them, eventually their meat suits are going to fail and they're not going to be able to be a threat anymore.
If it's slow zombies.
Up here in the Midwest, one winter and zombies are done, because frostbite sucks all the, like, you get frostbitten. Like you've put a piece of meat in the freezer and then left it there too long, right? Like it sucks all the moisture out, and then the little ice crystals stab the meat to death, and then it's no good. So
if it's the slow zombies, we'll be fine.
Correct.
Right. That's, yes.
But if it's the Dawn of the Dead, Usain Bolt sprinting zombies, we all
or
know.
the climbing ones from World War Z. Those ones are suck.
Exactly.
Yeah. We have to be able to be, if we can make it to a place where we can be like a fortified place where we can keep the zombies out for like a couple of months, then we're going to be fine. Because like in the summertime, the heat and the humidity is going to rot the zombies real fast. In the wintertime, the intense cold, especially up here in the Midwest, very cold in the wintertime, and it's going to freeze the zombies and ruin their meat suits. And then so like
if it
it's
pops
all
off
about,
in the summer, we're done.
Yeah, it's all about whether or not we can make it to
If it starts in the spring, we're done.
Yeah, if it happens in like a where it's like kind of like 60-ish, then the zombies are gonna live a lot longer, and we're gonna be in a lot more trouble.
Oh no,
like if it's in the middle of summer,
if it happens in like May, if it's May 1st, it's a wrap. It's been a good run.
I just don't personally. There are some zombie situations that I'm okay with, which, like you guys said, like Walking Dead, I'm cool with that. Like, because they're very slow. They don't. I mean, well, the only time I would not see, I don't know how much of The Walking Dead y'all have seen, so I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, there are certain situations that have,
I was going to say it's been a while since.
There are certain situations. There are certain situations in The Walking Dead that would very much so concern me. But I can't say because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
It's been a while.
You should have seen it by now. But the Whisperers, I would be very concerned with that.
Is that the people who dress up like the zombies?
Yes. I would be very concerned with that right there. But because that situation, you talking about a nightmare, when that was like the season finale, when Jesus was out there fighting and they were like fighting in this like mist or something like that, and then these muds start talking to each other. I was like, what is happening right now? So I thought like the whole universe was about to turn somewhere, and my mind was blown because I was like, this is literally the worst case. The only thing that could happen worse now is they start running. There are only a few situations in The Walking Dead that I feel like would have been very, like the situation that went with Glenn. I don't know that I've ever been so upset watching a TV show in my life. I was literally, besides like Duke or Carolina or the Panthers losing or something like that. But I'm talking about like for a TV show, I was so mad in that episode where that guy was messing with Glenn and almost got him killed. Man, I hope I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, but that was intense.
You know, there's a movie that it's kind of apocalyptic, but it's not really if you look at it through the lens of the criteria that we've been talking about. But to me, it's still one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. Even scarier because we're living in it right now. Contagion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good movie too.
That movie, like, because I saw it, I remember watching it. Outbreak, yeah, but Outbreak was like, it was like one town.
Yeah, it was pretty contained as long as they.
Contagion was like.
Oh no, I was just saying it. Like I think I like when I think of Contagion, I always think of Outbreak because to me, Outbreak was kind of like the prerequisite to Contagion. Contagion just a bigger version. You know what I'm saying? One's the micro and one's the macro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Contagion's definitely the worst situation.
Contagion hits different now, though. Even back then, like I remember after watching that movie, I was washing my hands way more than I was like, oh no, I can't do this. I don't want to touch anything. I'm okay. And then like all this started, and I'm like, oh my God, this is happening.
That just gave me an idea to submit for elsewhere. Like doing some type of spin on zombie.
I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what to do for. I've never done a short comic book, like a short story comic book story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everything I've done has been like
count, bro.
24 pages, 40 something pages. You know, that's actually I did a graphic novel, but it was like 70 pages. So
yeah, it's a challenge to get a good story into a small number of pages to tell it right. I still I did this. It's a really weird story, but I mean I still am like questioning if I did it right in my 2 pages that I put into elsewhere this year. I'm still questioning like could I have done that better? It's like it's a fun challenge, it's a good challenge, but it's a challenge.
I seriously just got an idea for that, but I gotta extrapolate it some because
Write
I mean,
that shit down. Don't forget.
Yeah, like let me do that now. I wanted to make sure that I got it back up on the screen before we got off the Kickstarter because we're still. I mean, look, the blessing is all of us love and hate Kickstarters at the same time, but the blessing is that Laurie had the confidence to. That's what I'm saying. Laurie, you guys are exceptional individuals because you ran the Kickstarter, didn't even do 30 days. You were like, nah, my people got me, bruh, and put it out there, and boom. What y'all got funded in what? 5? Was it even 5 days?
It was a couple days.
I think it was 3.
Yeah, it was a few days. Yeah. It was not 5, but yeah, it took more than.
Now, do you guys mind if I ask this question? Do you guys do this full time, or do you have a full time job and you do this part time?
I do it full time. Like I ink and edit other people's stuff, but I do it full time. And then Sarah does it. She's going to school at the same time, so she's kind of.
I'm in this. Yeah, I'm finishing my bachelor's degree, and when I'm done with that,
we're hoping.
Yeah, I mean, in a perfect world, I would just jump straight into full time with UHS, but we'll see. Like, you know, I mean, at this rate, I'm never gonna fucking graduate anyway because every semester they tell me, "Oh, you're gonna be done next semester for sure." But then the next semester comes along and they're like, "Oh, wait, you need to do this one more thing, so it'll be one more semester." So, like at this point, maybe never gonna happen. I don't even know.
Look, I'm glad that they're already funded, but this is also. People think that once you get fully funded, that it's like less stressful. It's slightly less stressful. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
at least we know we're gonna do this. But
at the same time, when you know you still have time on the clock, and because the whole fight of Kickstarters is to get it in front of new eyeballs. Because there's other people out there that will love it too. You just have to find those other people, and that's the hard part. So that's the part that everyone hates. Me and Danny did a sketch about that a few weeks ago. You know, because we had insane traffic on one of our posts. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a Kane and White cover when I dropped that.
Oh yeah. You were talking about that before, weren't you?
We put it in a comic book creators group and had like almost 400 likes on it and no pledges. Like it was the most diabolical thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I was losing it in my head, like trying to understand just why
it is. And I wish that I as you know, somebody is on the behind, and like I back stuff, and I help organize stuff. Like I argue Laurie does the bulk of the work, but like I make some nice graphics for her to put up on the thing there. So I guess I help too.
Right.
It's like I'm like the toddler who picks up the one little tiny box of food, and I'm running behind her going, I help too. That's what I feel like. But yeah, no, it's like the thing about Kickstarters is like I really want to I want to be able to kick back and put my feet up when we hit goal and be like, okay, we're good. But if we get more money, we can do more cool stuff. And but we just got, so like people that are just backing and don't know anything about the logistics of it, they're like, oh, you're there, you're good, you can relax now. It's like, but no, but if we make more money, then we can do cool stuff with it. We can give you more rewards. We can make more books, more new stuff. And so it's like, I really wish that, you know, like I want to say almost like more of a GoFundMe model versus a Kickstarter model, where it's like the goal is to make as much money as possible, not just to make $7,500 in this case. Like I wish that's what we could do.
Yeah, with the case of Elsewhere too, like if we can make enough money, we can also pay, like my plan is to pay contributors a page rate if we can pull in enough money. So it's like this money's going to artists, or it's going to more books, or it's going to free shit. Like it's all of that. It's all.
It's not because it's not like you're. You would need to make a good amount over whatever your goal was, unless you budgeted it well in order to, you know, pay yourself on a consistent basis. And I think some people think that you know, people are pocketing that money and then they just skimp you on the production. And I'm sure there are people out there to do that, but I know everybody that I rock with, that's not happening.
I know a couple who just pocket the money. You don't get nothing.
And see, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know anybody personally that has done that, because if they did, I'd probably say something. I would say something. Not even probably. I'd say something because it messes with you too when you launch Kickstarters.
Something Laurie does for like this is the second year that I've been a contributor, and obviously I've been helping on the back end of it for the whole time Elsewhere it's been a thing. But like one thing that Laurie does for us as contributors is she makes a very detailed breakdown of where all the money goes after it comes. Like she says, this much goes to Kickstarter for the fees, this much goes to the printer, this much goes to the fulfillment rewards, and then this is how much is, you know, shipping, and like she breaks it down, and it's all very transparent. So like there's no way a contributor could possibly say, oh, you pocketed the money and you said you were going to give us some, but that was a lie. Like no, it's not. So nobody's ever accused us of that, by the way. It's just that is like Laurie makes it so that nobody can accuse us, because that's like volunteering the information too. Nobody asked her to do that. She just did it so that we could all see that.
Yeah, that shipping is a beast.
Oh God, especially this year since the pandemic and since the you know, labor shortage and the supply chain mess ups and stuff. It's a fucking nightmare is what it is.
Yeah, it's so hard to like calculate that in.
You can't.
And it changes.
Hard. Yes, it changes. And then like you got to calculate it in by the whatever the person, you know, pledged for, and
especially if you're shipping international. Like I got on Lumberjacks #2, when I say I got lambasted, I got like complete, man, I had 2 packages. Now, don't get it twisted. It was a huge blessing to have somebody from, like, I had to ship something to Sweden. I had like 3 or 4 packages to the UK. Like I had to ship to at least 5 or 6 countries, which was awesome. Like that's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? To have people from other countries that want to get your product. But I had 2 shipments. I lied to you not. I had 2 shipments that cost just those 2 90 something. Just those 2. You know what I'm saying? I had put my shipping cost at like 10.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So you're paying for them to get your product, and look, I mean, you know, that's what makes it hard to calculate. So I tried to do better on this one. but you don't want to price it at a place where it's like I gotta pay $40 for shipping. I'm not getting this. I don't, you know what I mean? Like whatever. You don't want to do it there either. So there's always that fine line. So I mean, once again, applause for Unlikely Hero Studios, and I mean y'all destroyed the game last year with the Kickstarters. It was amazing. I mean, Miss Medusa, man, that campaign was freaking phenomenal, and people seem to love it. Of course, Elsewhere, man, y'all had so many projects last year; it was insane. So, The Surgeon, what's the Western one?
Hot Brass.
Hot Brass. That's 4 off the top of my head, but I know y'all did at least like 8 campaigns.
Power Broker.
Yeah, we had Power Broker.
I'm always wary to do like a bunch of Kickstarters, especially for like my one book. You know, doing a Kickstarter for number 1, doing a Kickstarter for number 2, doing a Kickstarter for number it was so stressful to me. That's why, like, actually for Heat number 1, I didn't even do a Kickstarter. For this last book I did, I just did a pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't, and it, as much as I was putting it out there, it didn't do great. And what I ended up doing was I paid for 25 books, like out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, these are my 25 books. And then people bought them as they went. And then I would sell a bunch at Comic-Cons. And then, every now and again, somebody might buy it. But like doing Kickstarter, there's just so much work.
You ain't never lied.
So much work. And then coming up with like incentives and then making the incentives. It was just so much work. I'm debating on doing it. I'm sitting here thinking about if I should do a Kickstarter for Heat number 2. And I'm like, okay, well, that means after you finish the book, now you got to draw a print, do with this, do with that. And I'm just like, maybe I need to find a way to do a stripped down version of it, because it's so much work. And at least you guys have helped, like, between, I don't know how many people you work with, but like, at least you have like other people pushing it out there. You know what I mean? Like you got, how many creators do you have in your book? I'm pretty sure they're all pushing it.
40 something.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
It is, but I mean, everybody can't. Everybody's not capable. Yeah, everybody's not capable though, and you got to kind of know. I think if you do it, the biggest thing is just if you're going to do it, planning it. Because like when I did us doing Lumberjacks number 3. Of course, there were so many other variables in the air. I was not able to plan this one like I did number 2, because with number 2, we had been sitting on all of that for a year and a half, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This one, we're still in production. You know what I'm saying? So that I always would rather have the book finished before, before I even do the Kickstarter. But this one, I wanted to see whether or not it was going to make a difference when I launched, because I launched on my birthday. I was like, well, maybe we can convert some of these, on your birthday, you can get people that you don't even know come and say happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you can convert some of those into even digital pledges. You know what I mean? All of it helps. You know what I'm saying? You can get extra back or whatever. It seems to work sometimes. It seems not to work other times. So, I mean, you just never know with Kickstarters. The blessing is that, once you build your base, you pretty much know about what you can do. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning, if those same people support, which they always do, that's huge. It's huge to know that you have people that are going to back you every time you do something because they love your work. But it's still stressful. Like, I don't think people really realize, unless you run your own Kickstarter, how stressful it is. It's dumb stressful. So,
the first one I did, I was just so stressed out on meeting, and I only had like a $2,000 limit.
Yeah,
and it was my first time doing it though, so it was like I'm begging and I'm doing whatever I can do, and I didn't have half the audience I had now. Like, this is my first Heat book, like the first one I did, and this is before anybody knew anything. And I remember I was stressing out. And actually, the first one I did, I failed.
We did too.
And then I came back and did it again. Same book, but I had kind of had a structure. Like I'd looked around and I saw, okay, well, maybe do this, and then that one succeeded. And I think I've done like 2 or 3, all for Heat.
I will say this before, before I close it out. Again, another thing that helps is finding people that are great at it. That have the audience or whatever. And if you have to pay them in order to run your campaign, hey, it pays. You know what I'm saying? It's a great thing. So I mean, if you see Laurie and what they're able to do, hey, you can pay her for it. God dang it. You know what I'm saying? Laurie can run your joint. You know what I mean? Catherine Calamia, I know she's doing it now. You can consult with people, you know what I'm saying, to help run the Kickstarters. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about people that might watch the show, later on. But I always say the big thing, like when we get asked questions, when we go to cons or just when we do other podcasts or whatever, to me, one of your biggest helps is going to be building genuine relationships within the indie community, because the indie community, at least me and my people, we all support each other. So regardless of whether, like I said in the beginning, that my pockets are destroyed, but I want to make sure that I'm backing my people, because I know how important it is. I know how stressful it is. I've been in these rooms. I've been in the planning. I've been in these Kickstarters. I've wanted to literally hit goal and end the Kickstarter right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna take my money and run, because the other part is people are gonna pledge, and then you're definitely gonna lose some pledges. How many pledges are we gonna lose? How much? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much stuff that you can find to stress about. Me and Laurie talked about that. Like in the first 3 days, I was like, someone please tell me. Like I was losing it early on, and I just had to get myself into a place where, like, hey, chill out, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to find your balance, or you'll kill yourself with worry. So, with that being said, I'm definitely going to be an Elsewhere 4. I'm definitely still going to back it so that I can get it, and I'm definitely
gonna try. I'm definitely gonna try. I can't promise, but I definitely try.
I really enjoyed the topic. It was a great topic, really great topic, because it was it allowed us to have a whole bunch of different conversations. Thank you, Laurie and Sarah, for even wanting to come back through. You have my support for the rest of the 9 days for the Kickstarter. If I need to accost people to get their pledges, I'm more than willing to do it. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Especially that fucking coach, right?
You're daggone right. I slap fire at that coach right now. I'll do it right now. I like I said, make sure y'all hit. I want to put the link in there one more time, just so when people rewatch, I mean, they have the link in here. Don't say, well, I mean, y'all see it on the screen, but I want to make sure it's in there so nobody can say that, because that's another thing that you run into. People be like, where's the link? And you literally say link in bio, and they act like they can't, you know what I mean. But anyway, thank y'all for coming back through. Great topic. Hope to have y'all on again soon. And y'all know y'all always welcome. Big bro, who did you announce for this week?
Yeah. This week on the Stoke podcast is a gentleman I went to college with who is doing really big things. He's a director. His name is Michael Cook, a fellow SCAD alumni. He did a short film called Across the Tracks, which you can watch. I think you can still watch it on Amazon Prime. Really great work, and we're going to have a really good conversation. I can announce some other over the next few weeks. We're going to have Michael Watson's going to be on.
I'm coming on there. I reckon that.
Rags Morales just agreed to do one of my shows, which is really huge for me because I'm a big fan of his. If you don't know who Rags Morales is, go read Identity Crisis. Hawkman, he did a run on Hawkman. Let's see. Greg, how do you pronounce his name? Alisi?
Greg Anderson Elise.
Yes, he agreed to be on my show. Road just agreed too. So I'm gonna have dates for all these people, but
That's what's up.
I try to have a nice mixture of comic books plus other stuff. But this week is gonna be really good, and we're definitely gonna have the ladies on one day. I just need to find a hole in the schedule. Actually, I do kind of have a hole in the schedule next Thursday. If you guys are interested, next Thursday at 8.
That might work. I have to check the calendar, but I think it might.
Yeah, let me know, and we'll definitely. We're gonna have another guest host on the show that day. His name is Travis Holyfield. He's an independent writer. He's done work. One of his two best known works, is Street Clothes and Dog Man, I believe.
Okay.
But he's gonna jump on the show and talk. But I would definitely have you ladies. I think that's within the 9 days. Is it within the 9 days or is it after the 9 days?
That might be like the last day.
That would be I think we end Friday, so it would be the second to last day. That would be.
All right. Well, listen, if you guys want to jump on, please do. We'd love to have you.
That'd be awesome.
Just hit me, just direct message me if you can do it. The date is
March 3rd.
March 3rd, yeah.
Okay. Like I said, for anybody that hasn't already, checked out elsewhere, do it. If you don't, and I find out, I'm going to be very upset with you, and I might Juwan Howard you. That being said, I appreciate the topic. I appreciate you, brilliant and beautiful ladies. Were you about to say something?
Unlikely Hero Studios does not endorse the violence. We're not going to stop you, though.
See, that's technically an endorsement. That's technically an endorsement, and I'll take it. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. See y'all next Tuesday. I don't know what we're going to announce the topic yet. I'm trying to make sure that
we do have the topic.
Did we?
Video games.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Augustin will be on next week.
George Gant said he would be on
a Stoke podcast.
No, on Top 5 to talk video games. He's a big video game guy.
Oh, he did say that. You're right. Well, I know next week we're gonna have Andrew on for sure.
I can reach out to see if he'd still do it.
George,
I know he was interested.
George said something on the post too. So yeah, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're definitely doing video games next week. I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. So top 5 video games. I'm 100% sure I'm gonna be very pissed next week because Danny's gonna say like 5 Wii games. He's gonna say 3 of his games are going to be Mario. I guarantee it. So I'm just telling you that ahead of time. Don't be surprised when this dude says like Mario Galaxy, Mario Kart, and Wii Sports. It's going to be something dumb.
Mario Galaxy 2 is a fucking amazing game.
So I don't disagree. I don't disagree with Mario. You just can't have 3 Mario games on your top 5 list.
It's I mean, at least broaden it past Wii games. Like, there are so many consoles, and there's been so many years with so many amazing games. Like,
I would be okay with him putting. I'd be okay with them putting like freaking Hangman on there, freaking NBA Jams. Broaden your horizons, sir. You can't just say everything freaking Mario. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna tap out, ladies. I gotta go. Y'all have a great evening.
He's gonna have at least 3.
Thank you.
See y'all next week. It should be a great show. See y'all next week. Bye, ladies. Thank y'all for coming back. Of course. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.